Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Wrestling with Comedy, Wrestlemania week. We are here to talk about all things Wrestlemania involved. We've got, obviously, a hell of a lot to get through, so we're jumping into it all a lot quicker than usual. But just a quick reminder, this Wednesday at 7 p.m. England time, available wherever you're watching this stream now, will be KD's Comedian Quiz-Off 31, the show where I take a bunch of my fellow funny friends from around the comedy circuit, pit them against each other to see whose brain is better at withholding useless information, all the while answering a multitude of ridiculous questions to entertain all of you at home. You are welcome. Yeah, exactly what Callum said.
You there, for you, not for us, for you.
The man to my left, I guess it would be, will be competing in that along with Tegan Marlowe. I've got the finger here, sorry. Okay, I haven't got the finger here, so
I've got the finger here. No, I don't.
We'll get there eventually. We'll figure it out. But if I remember correctly, it's Nathan Parrish, Tegan Marlowe. There is
Tommy Tomsky.
That's what I'm missing. Tommy Tomsky, and of course the belt collector himself, the one who's with me tonight. He is the Wrestling with Comedy co-host comedic commentary team. That kind of made sense in my head more than it did when he came out. Mr. Callum Ellis, Jarivs-Jones. How you doing, Callum?
Yeah, that didn't make an awful lot of sense, I'll be honest with you.
Yes. The Wrestling with Comedy comedic commentary team. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
I said some of those words. I just forgot about the words to connect them.
Yeah. The waffly bollocks after that bit made no sense whatsoever. But yes, I am well. I have not been to a beer garden. I have not been to Primark. I have remained indoors because fuck that. Fuck that. That's about all I've got to say on that matter.
I mean, I would love to hear more about everything you're fucking and everything you're not fucking while in your house, but we've got a lot to get on with, Callum, today.
Oh, sweet. We got 2 days worth of grapply goodness.
I don't know. Well, I do know about you, but myself, for example, after the beginning of WrestleMania Night 1, I completely forgot about the concept of making notes. So I am going in blind in regards to remembering exactly what happened in what order, but thank God you've got all the freaking notes, so whenever you're ready, my man.
I will start off by saying, like, this past week has been 2 nights of TakeOver, as well as 2 nights of WrestleMania, and watching AEW as well.
Yeah.
It's just been a bit much, lads. Let's not next time. Let's just maybe stagger it a bit, or just have one night of WrestleMania that's like 3.5 hours, because not everybody deserves to be on WrestleMania.
I mean, we will get into that for sure. We will definitely get into that. There are some examples, but I don't mind the 2-night WrestleMania, to be honest. I don't like the 2-night takeover though. That doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, no, that seemed really overkill. I don't want to see him do that again. But yeah, I prefer a 2-night WrestleMania as opposed to one 12-hour session of WrestleMania, where at the end you just think, I never want to watch wrestling again. This is the worst thing in the world. I am fatigued and I am tired, and I don't give a shit if Becky Lynch beat anybody.
But then you wake up the next morning and you see a notification. You're like, oh, I wonder what their opinion was on it. And then you watch all the things, and then you remember, oh, there's Raw tonight too. And then you remember, oh, there's more than that. We've got a break tomorrow after that. I feel Tuesday's NXT now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, oh God!
Yeah, tonight for us Raw, then tomorrow NXT, then the day after AEW, and then Thursday we have a break.
Whew, I'm gonna need it.
Yeah.
We might keep watching NXT anyway.
Obviously, this WrestleMania again over 2 nights, and on Saturday, of course, we're in Florida. The beacon of all things, sun and constant glorious weather. So straight away it was rained off for over 30 minutes. So it was 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, and basically 1 hour before fans could actually be there again.
I was thinking about this earlier. To be fair, though, God did still owe Vince one. Vince got the win over him, I believe. They had a match. I don't remember what happened, but God owed him one. So this was his payback. The future
Exactly. I mean,
I felt so sorry for them though during all of that. Like,
oh yeah, they must have just been like to go that long and then have that happen. You just be like, well, fuck my life. Just what the fuck? Even God himself does not want this to happen. I also, and maybe you'll go along with this, I don't know. I have often praised WWE's like video editing, their ability to put together a nice production package. But the cold open with the fucking fake Jack Sparrow.
Hey, mate. Oh, what am I doing? That's nothing like it.
How you doing? I'm Jack Sparrow.
I'm Jack Swiggle, yeah.
Just
what do I even bother?
Just do you mind if I take over from here, mate? We're going to watch some wrestling now. And
are you on about just in general what was involved in it? Because there's something else that I want to point out about that intro.
Go on. I was just totally taken out when it started off with the normal voice again. A night of epicness. I was like, oh, this is getting silly.
History of history.
Yeah, and then all right, mate, can I take over from this cold open for you? And like, it's fine doing the pirate theme, but don't just go full fucking Pirates of the Caribbean.
You know what? When I first saw it, I really liked it. But that was a year ago, because I swear to God, it's the same fucking one they used for last year. And then not only did they rehash it for night one, going a bit forward now, they rehashed it for night one, and then they rehashed the rehash for night two.
Yep.
It was like 8 minutes long.
Yeah, I fucking skipped it for night two. Like, I'll roll this again. No.
Watching it live, so I couldn't.
Yeah. Thank fuck I didn't. I'd have just got annoyed. I did do my level best over these 2 nights not to skip much of matches, but the worst some where it's like, no, I'm out.
I was lucky the first night I was a bit behind, so I got to skip through a lot of the what you're going to talk about in a minute, the weather stuff, you know. So, but I had a little bit of time to skip through some of the matches for night one, not night two, sadly.
So the very first thing they did obviously was have Vince McMahon with his horrible old man voice. Now it's just really sad, just like
I just want to say it's really good to have you all here at WrestleMania.
Just you can hear his lungs filling with fluid.
I was about to say he's kind of always sounded like he's slightly drowning anyway, though. Really,
yeah, but he's really like the tonsils are just really wobbling in the back of the throat now.
It's really buggy now.
Yeah, they're finally giving up the ghost. And that was nice because that was the first thing, and then you hear the crowd reaction like, yes, fans are
so
back.
Nice, yeah. And like you could see the wrestlers were getting emotional as well, and I felt a bit of the emotions too just watching it.
Yeah, it did tug on the old strings. So then we go through the cold open, and then we got the 3 commentators there: Cole, Joe, and Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton. It just gave like the least passionate opening ever. It's like, oh yeah, it's really good to be here. But my suit doesn't get wet.
Yeah, I think it's because they knew what was coming.
Yeah, well, at least Michael Cole was like, it's been 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day, but finally. And even Samoa Joe was like, oh, Michael, it's great to be back. And Byron's like, oh yeah, it's cool, guys. Yay. And he's the one who's fucking sticking around on Raw. What? Just as a side note, they're getting it's being changed. They're getting some guy from baseball in and bringing up. Oh, who's they bringing in as well?
Because Raw's Byron, that's Corey and Cole, obviously on SmackDown, aren't they?
They're bringing Corey Graves over.
Oh, it's Samoa Joe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're bringing in Corey Graves and this Major League Baseball guy and keeping Byron Saxton. Okay. So then they say and the first match is going to be Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. They demanded to be the first match, and the fans demanded that it be the case. I was like, oh, did they?
Did we?
Yeah, I don't recall being asked about this, but I'll go along with it.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm more than happy with it.
Yeah, because I figured that they were going to let the women close one night. I already knew the closers before going into it. They announced them ahead of time. Yeah, and so that is kind of it is like they did with Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar 2 years ago, where when it was like, right, this is how you should start. You start hot. You don't do it
definitely
like slow build and then the piss break and like they used to do. Now they're like, right, we're gonna fucking set the level.
It was a good job for this one as well, considering everything that happened before it got them going straight away.
Yeah, but then from there they obviously said like, and we're just having to have a short break because weather's just going to called it off for a few minutes.
Yeah,
they kept saying a few minutes. It wasn't a few minutes
because that's how weather works. It'll be there for a few minutes. That's just how it works,
Probably here and gone in a minute. It'll be fine. So they obviously went to the back and got some people to riff.
Well, hold on. You're missing the most important part there. They started off at least with the best talker in the game straight away.
Yeah. Why was he? I can only assume Vince was like,
Shane, you're going first.
You gotta save a Shane. Get him right in the balls.
And he was doing so well with his dispassionate promo that you could just tell, like, Bobby Lashley looked so confused when he came in. Him and MVP were just like, yeah, fuck off now, go away.
So we can definitely do better with this dude move.
Yeah.
And they were right.
Yeah. And obviously then Drew came in as well. I hadn't realized in the time that had been going back and forth until this interview how much taller Drew McIntyre is than Bobby Lashley. Like when you saw them in really close vicinity,
yeah,
it was just like, what the fuck? Drew is huge.
Yeah, you don't realize it.
Yeah,
especially considering what he used to be, even then. But he's a lot bigger than you realize.
I also made a note here that simply says Kevin Patrick can fuck off. And Sarah Schreiber is shit.
Sarah Schreiber, she was falling apart for all those beginning bits that you mentioned.
She didn't have a fucking clue. Like, this is meant to be, for someone in that position, this should be like a bread and butter, get some vox pops out of him, get some quote. It was just like, so.
But they didn't have a script, obviously, this time. So this should have been the chance where they can really do their thing. But she fell apart. It's like she'd never watched wrestling before.
Yeah, I sincerely hope she is given a severe, audible kicking for that because that was just not good.
I think everyone will get a buy for that, though. But the other guy, I really liked him.
I don't like him. He's just... I hesitate to say the term too Irish. But there's just... I love the Irish accent, but there's just something about him that really fucking annoys me, and I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is, but he just really gets on my nerves.
He seems quite sure of himself, but it's not really a particularly bad thing, but it might be that. I don't know, because the only reason I mention that is because he was able to really bounce off with Kofi and Xavier during that whole bit, and that was the one interview where everyone seemed to really, it felt like a normal good interview rather than forcing something for the sake of something. Help us, someone, please.
I also like that they got Big E involved as well, because like when they used to do the draft, obviously it would just be like, that's it, they're separated. But now they still acknowledge that, oh no, Big E is still, he's still in the New Day, he's just not on the same show. And so when we're together, we're the New Day again. Woo.
Yeah, I like it when they do that. I much prefer it with factions like that.
And then they had Braun doing his promo. And listening to that, I kind of realized, obviously, he's been I've been bullied all my life. They're literally just going, well, that Lars Sullivan bit didn't go anywhere, so we're just going to get rid of Lars Sullivan and we'll put in Braun Strowman. There we go. They're both massive men who have apparently been bullied all their lives. There we go.
I still can't remember that with Lars Sullivan doing any of that kind of storyline. I mean, he was hardly ever freaking there.
It was when they did like 2 sit-down segments that were obviously meant to be like the Mick Foley ones, but then he had his bloody breakdown and went away, and it was just dropped.
With him, considering the kind of person he seems to be, I don't really buy that. I think it was probably just he used that as an excuse, and he's just a dick. And he knew people would know he's a dick.
Yeah, more like I think he just knew that he was out of time and was just like, I have anxiety.
Or if he did have proper anxiety attacks like that, it's because he knew everyone was aware of how much of a dick he was.
Yeah.
So I don't have so much sympathy either way, really.
No. I did enjoy Michael Cole and Samoa Joe in their Packamax, like their mum was taking him to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's like, oh, this is great.
Sorry, Callum, sorry. You made me realize something then.
This is great TV. 2 men looking like they're wearing gigantic condoms.
But there wasn't no bygone. Bygone was bygone, at least by then, because wasn't it?
How long have you been thinking of that?
I was actually thinking of a song a second ago. Bygone, gone, bygone, gone. What the fuck was I going to say then? Yeah, his mic because there was some weird loud ass sound, wasn't there, during Kevin Owens' little promo?
Yeah,
and I assume that must have been Byron's mic fucking up, because then I think that bit you mentioned was just after that, and he was gone then.
Yeah, I wonder what that noise was. So yeah, that'll probably be it. It was, and it just sort of really audibly cut Kevin Owens off. And Kevin Owens obviously was a good promo because he's Kevin Owens. And
exactly.
He can cut an amazing promo in a language that wasn't even his first language. So that's how shit some of the other people are.
Yeah.
Then it finally got where they could start, and oh look, it's Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan.
Oh god, I forgot about that again.
Yeah, and I feel like they have retired Titus. I feel like they're just going, you're not like you're better not in the ring.
Probably a good idea.
You just, yeah.
Probably
also, yeah. And to be fair, like his bit at the very beginning, he did all right. He showed quite a lot of passion.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If he'd been able to do that kind of thing in the ring, might have got somewhere. I'm also very sure that they pumped in some cheers for Hogan.
Yeah,
because you could tell that it did that thing where it was like that wasn't.
Apparently, there's been videos that have come out since. I think it was more for night 2 than night 1.
Right.
Today of like the bits where when you're actually watching the stream, there's cheers and all that, but they're putting videos from where they are in the stands and that, and all you can hear is just ungodly loud boos, non-stop.
Wow,
it's not surprising, is it though? No. I mean, going forward a bit later on again, I mean, I found it hilarious on night 2 when Titus pulls out a sword, pointed it at Hogan, and that got a huge cheer.
I mean,
murder.
So they did the presentation. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Runs wild on you.
And he called him Titus, I'm pretty sure as well. I'm sure he did.
Probably, yeah. And then we're into the first match, and like we've already said,
here we are.
It was for the WWE Championship.
That was the WWE Championship, yeah.
I lose track of what they call it, but yeah, that was.
I love the look of that title as well. I don't know about you, but I still love the look of that title. People are really down on it still, and I think it's one of the prettier titles they've ever had.
I don't know about ever. I don't think it's a bad looking belt. I would probably want to get rid of like the diamonds. I think it might look better without that, and maybe have that as like a layer of like gold and then a layer of platinum or something. Or thing. Yeah. But it's not. Is in the pantheon of ugly wrestling belts.
Yeah.
Nah, there's plenty. There's plenty worse. Both sets of tag team titles are some of the worst belts around. I really don't know why they've kept them going.
And it's hilarious when they keep referring to them as oh, they've won the gold, they've got the gold. They're not gold.
Yeah, one is silver, one is bronze.
Silver. Yeah,
is literally like having runners up and third place medals around you. Well, it's not what are you doing?
I really think there should just be one tag title now because there's not enough tag teams anyway. They should do the same thing they did with the women's tag titles for a bit.
Yeah, they've just completely gutted the tag divisions, so why not just merge them?
Makes sense.
Yeah. I like, so obviously, the first one, Drew's the first person out, and he puts the sword and the boom, 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 and the fireworks. But then when Bobby comes out and does his in the entranceway, and he seemed to be there for about a minute with nothing happening. I was like, oh, have they forgot the pyro for this bit? And then he went in, and then he went in the ring, and then it did it. Okay, but I really think that was meant to happen when he was on the stage.
Yeah, I noticed there's quite a few mistakes in general, but like that one, for example, I was like, I'm gonna completely look past that because it could have been the rain, the thunder, anything to tie him in,
Exactly. I think there was a lot that didn't go right because of the rain, particularly on night one. My main note that I wrote for this match was big meat slaps, big boys.
It was a damn good match.
Yeah, because this was good big man wrestling. Mm-hmm. Just two big men beating the shit out of each other. That's what I like to see. And not doing it slow, doing it at a good pace, because these are freakish athletes.
It didn't feel like it went too long either. I don't know if maybe I didn't time any of it, but it didn't feel like it went too long.
That it was one of those, I think, and maybe it was giving leeway because the crowd was there. It was just so nice to have a crowd.
Yeah,
but it didn't. There's some matches where you think like, I really feel like we should be finishing. Whereas this one, it felt like it was the right amount of time. You weren't bothered how long it was going. You're happy to go along with it. One thing I didn't like is Bobby Lashley kicking out of 3 Future Shock DDTs. That's a little bit overkill for me, but that's a minor niggle.
Well, at least it's not AEW where it would have been 3 Claymores in every match.
Exactly. Yeah.
At least in WWE, most of the time a finisher is a finisher.
That is something that sort of happened here. I really feel like a lot of finishes were protected. Which was nice.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bobby won, which I was kind of surprised at, but hopefully now this means he gets a good long run with the title.
Do you think? I was surprised too. Don't get me wrong. Do you think that was the right choice out of the 2?
I don't think there was a wrong choice. I prefer that this was the choice because otherwise it just becomes very blatant why you made Miz lose. Yeah. There are rumors that Drew may be heading to SmackDown to obviously be the next person to challenge Roman Reigns. But
that could be good.
What I would do now, there's nobody who I actually want to take the title off of Bobby Lashley.
No, I can't think of anyone. There's people I'd love to see him face, but there were people that I want to win the title, but I don't want Bobby Lashley to lose the title yet. I really like Lashley as a champ.
So I wonder if maybe it's a case they'll maybe work towards getting Keith Lee to beat him.
That's the name that came straight into my head I was thinking of.
That just seems the most Vince, other than I'm going to rehire Brock Lesnar, pal. He's going to squash you flat in 10 seconds.
I don't want to see that match. Everyone wants to see that match, Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. I am not into that match at all.
I think it has the potential to be a good match, but I also think it has if Brock didn't want to play, it has the potential to be a very bad match as well. So Goo. I have been ranking my matches out of 10 because fuck Dave Meltzer. And the 10 scale will not be broken because fuck Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, isn't it infinite now, apparently?
Oh, God.
Pretty sure that's what he said.
Yeah.
Did you see he's finally admitted that AEW maybe isn't the best booked show? I know.
Wow. Is that personal growth, Dave? Oh, well done. Well done, you.
Probably not, but
no. It's probably just getting bored of all the Jim Cornette fans calling him a cunt. But I gave this match an 8 out of 10. I just thought it was a good match. Came in, did the job. Hefty boys. Yeah. Smack, smack, smack. Yes.
I'm not going to give a score myself just because I feel like I should have written them down at the time if I was going to score them. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm just remembering rose tinted glasses and all that. So yes. I liked it.
That is a fair response. Then what really I was just like, oh Christ, is the little advert that came on for WWE doing NFTs. I was like, oh my
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't know whether, cause I don't know what got shown over here, but obviously I watched mine on a perfectly legal thing. And I'm sure it is exactly what you saw, and you must have just ignored it. But yeah, the WWE are doing NFTs.
Next time, give me a shout, and I'll give you the login stuff for my network, rather than do that.
Oh, that's a tempting offer. I mean, I wouldn't dream of it. That's against the rules and regulations and all of the agreements you signed up to. I'm sure you're only joking. You comedian.
I would never do that. Yeah.
No.
Hey. Hop hop. No, I like that song. Oh, hop hop. No regular stand, you can't stop. I like the first one too. So.
I did quite like the first one. If you don't know what NFTs are, I can't really explain them to you. So good luck.
It's basically Bitcoin. It's like an online currency, but at the same time, it's like kind of buying copies of art online, so like gifts and stuff. It's like owning a version of, say, you buy the Mona Lisa, but then everyone else can still share the Mona Lisa and give each other the Mona Lisa, but you own it, but it's also money. It's so weird.
And lots of other people can also own it. And it's an amazing con. Like, well done, people. Like, if you can make money out of that, well done to you. Because frankly, if someone's willing to pay for it, idiots deserve to be parted from their money if they're willing to do that.
Yeah, stupid's always going to stupid. What can we do about it?
Yeah. So then we went from the really good, whoa, that's a good opening match, to the women's tag gauntlet thing.
God, okay. Yeah.
Now, well, I'll start off by saying I really like Billie Kay. I think she's underappreciated. And I like her gimmick.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's good wrestling comedy. I would like to see her. Like, R-Truth and Carmella were okay, but I think R-Truth and Billie Kay. Oh, look at something interesting here. That could be top-notch wrestling comedy.
Yeah, them two alone are great. So together, I can't imagine how that wouldn't work.
Yeah. So it started off with Naomi and Lana, who are a put together tag team, and Billie Kay and Carmella, who are a put together tag team.
Lana and Naomi have a lot more, like history now, though. And they make sense together too, I think.
Because they can both dance.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's enough.
Yeah, fair. So they did the thing. There was immediately, I think it was in like seconds of the match starting, and Naomi hit Carmella with a drop kick, and like the highest foot really seemed like it went just straight in Carmella's face. Like there was no whiff. There was just seemed like whoa, and it really reminded me of. I vividly remember watching an episode of Raw where Kofi Kingston did the
Trouble in
Paradise,
Yeah.
and just booted Miz directly in the face and concussed him, and I think knocked a tooth out
That's
because
a blind kick, yeah.
because he did it so close to the ropes. He literally turned, bounced, and just immediately got hit. And it really reminded me of that. It just seemed like a really stiff kick in the face. So,
Remind you of what happens on night 2, probably to a certain Riddler, but we'll get there.
So obviously the idea is that each tag team, the first one to score a fall, goes on to face the next team. Carmella and Billie Kay got the pin.
Yeah, that surprised me. Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, got the pin over Naomi and Lana. Like you say, I was quite surprised with that. But I liked the assist that Carmella gave Billie Kay. I thought that I'd not seen that before.
Yeah.
Where she kind of leant against the ropes.
Yeah, she did like a sunset flip. Billie Kay did like a sunset flip kind of thing. So had her like in that kind of position, and Carmella leant back and just pushed her back.
Yeah, kind of
from the ropes. Yeah,
pulled, and I just thought it was really original. So I liked that. That was
same.
Yeah. Then the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan came down, who are they're an actual tag team.
They make sense.
Yeah.
I loved how they were dressed up as well, because you had Liv Morgan as basically as Harley Quinn, and then you had Ruby Riott as a Joker, and it's just such a rare thing to see a woman dressed up as a Joker, but it's cool. I like that.
I didn't have an issue with the Joker. I have made a note.
Oh, okay.
Can we just not with the Harley Quinn stuff anymore?
But it made sense in that situation.
In that situation, it did, but. It's done. Please, let's find something else, guys.
Oh, but there is nothing else. It's Harley Quinn. She's
Don't normalize it.
True. Actually,
this is an emotionally abused woman. Like at the heart of it, that's what that character is. She's just an emotionally abused woman. She is the icon of Stockholm syndrome, and people are like, that's a relationship. No, that's a thing.
Like I say, it's a relationship. You're not wrong. Not one you want to base your life on, but I don't think that's what was happening here. Luckily, though.
No. So they tried to do the same sort of pinning combination, and there were quite a few. This is where the botches started happening.
They'd already started, really, to be fair. Lana, I think Naomi was like everything that wasn't including Naomi, from what I remember, wasn't great.
Well, that's just Lana's not a particularly great in-ring competitor. And Carmella really can do a super kick, and that's about it. And the submission move. Like, she's not.
I like her normally, but in this match, no. It was just something off this whole match for me.
And even like Liv Morgan, I don't think is particularly good. Liv Morgan has gotten better, but and especially with the finish where I don't know what was Billie Kay just sold the finish of this really weirdly, where they dropped Billie Kay onto Liv Morgan's knees, but she didn't go onto her knees. She just sort of hovered above them slightly. And then Ruby Riott did like the senton onto her and got the pin. So the Riot Squad advanced first the next two, who were.
There was before you get to that though, I did remember one thing: a Riot kick from Ruby Riott. I can't remember who it was to, but they got her in the right. It looked like full on in the face. It looked painful.
I'm going to be honest. This is one of the matches where I was fairly early in, but I was like, I'm going to just fast forward this a little bit. I'm trying to skip 15 seconds ahead a few times.
I did it here and I almost missed something, but I saw the end of it, so I had to go back. Did you see what happened when they came to the ring?
Yes, I did. So the next pair of competitors were Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose, I remember seeing Mandy Rose on that Tough Enough series, and I thought she wouldn't get anywhere. And like, power to her, she got
a lot better. Yeah, definitely.
Dana Brooke,
she's improved.
Yes, let's try and look at the positives. Dana Brooke has improved.
She's good. It's just she's boring as hell.
I don't even know if she's that good. Although I did feel really bad for that time when Nia Jax just powerbombed the fucking shit out of her. That was just like, oh, that wasn't good. Oh, damn.
Oh,
Dana, I know that you can fuck up sometimes, but I don't wish that on you. Good Lord. But yes, obviously the entranceway, the ramp was slick with Florida's fallen rain. And to quote the British Bulldog when talking about the Shockmaster, oh, she's fallen on her ass. Mandy Rose did a nice little whoa, little banana skin, and fell right onto her bottom.
But lucky for her, because this was in no way one of the worst botches of the 2 nights. There's a couple, night 2 especially for me. There's one in particular. But I'm not going to carry on.
So they obviously got in the ring, and a series of moves proceeded to happen.
Moves probably happened.
Yeah, there was lots of 15-second skips on this one. And then the Riot Squad got the pin. However, Greg Hamilton, the announcer, he didn't get that memo. Because for yet another botch in this match, he announced that the Riot Squad had been eliminated.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He loud and long. It was just like, the Riot Squad have been eliminated. And everyone, literally the crowd go, huh? No. And then it quickly was like, a correction. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke have been eliminated.
Wow, it really was. I didn't even notice all the botches. I didn't care because I enjoyed all of it, but the botches are plenty, man.
Yeah, Matthew is just gonna be like, oh, this is nom 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 nom, delicious. And then
Mania, love it.
Then it was Tamina and Talia, the final team, to come down to face the
Riot Squad. Yeah.
Talia is maybe the most underrated woman on the rosters, and I don't think has had sufficient reward for the amount of effort and what she does. She should have had a lot more title reigns than she's had. But the problem is now I feel like she's in that Dolph Ziggler area where it's like, we're never going to put a big title on you again. You're going to be a gatekeeper to say, like,
yeah,
they can work with Natty. They're ready for the next step. Or they can't get a good match with Natty. No, they're not ready yet.
Yeah, it's more so that, yeah.
And to me,
I think you're right about that, and I think you're right about where she'll probably end up. Yeah, sadly, I mean, I've heard a lot of people be quite down on her, saying that she can't wrestle as well as people think. I don't agree with that. Her technical skill is just she doesn't do loads of different moves because she doesn't get a chance in her matches.
Yeah,
she's very, very good. Technically perfect most of the time.
These are probably been the same kind of people who back in WCW would have been like, well, why is Dean Malenko cruiserweight? He doesn't fly. Like, that's not the point. He's there for the good graps. And like I said, it was Natalya and Tamina. Now Tamina. I don't understand how she's still employed when she is so very poor. Like,
I know.
She's like, I know I said Carmella basically only has 2 moves. Tamina has 1, which again is the super kick and doesn't really look that great. Like, I don't.
She also has a splash that she fucks up every time.
Exactly. That is something I've said every time I have ever talked about a Tamina match on any podcast I've ever done. You've been doing your dad's splash for a decade at least now. How can you still not do it right? Yeah, she always, you can tell she's landing on her knees every time. She's always just like, she's like a weird fucked up frog splash rather than a splash.
That's putting it nice. That's putting it nice. And you say how? Let's go forward, because I'm not sure how much. I didn't notice it particularly in this match, but we're talking about her, so I think it's okay. Going forward a little bit to the next night, she was over like crazy, Tamina. Why? Why were people cheering her? I honestly don't get it. Like you said, she's terrible. I was thinking, oh, maybe it's because her dad's Jimmy. No, we know he's a murderer. It can't be that. Why? I don't get it.
I think she just got the "you're not Nia" cheers, because Nia Jax is probably more hated because of who she is and how she is.
Well, yeah, because I mean, she was in that match, like, you know, going forward again with her family, and she was still being just as reckless with her family. I saw bits. I was like, "Yep, okay." At least we know she is just that person. She's not doing that out of malice. She's just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. I should have mentioned at the beginning of this that so the idea of this match was that the winners would go on to night 2 to face the women's tag team champions, which is why I found it really weird that it was Natalya and Tamina that won.
Yeah, made no sense.
Because then you're setting up, because they were heels. That's how they've been portrayed.
I didn't think of that, yeah.
In the weeks before, and now they're going to face a pair of heels. Why? This is
I didn't even think about that.
booking.
Yeah, I didn't even, that concept didn't even come into my head. It should have done. I don't know why it didn't, but no.
Yeah,
They were very lucky that for some reason they loved Tamina in the end. Then,
yeah, and I think again, like they quite like Natalya as well, just because they have the same kind of recognition that she's kind of underutilized. I could not give this match more than a 3 out of 10 because it was too long. Like if you're going to say, if you could get rid of a match from this WrestleMania, what that one, please.
It had nothing to do with it being too long. It was only too long. It doesn't come into it. It was just shit.
Yeah,
it was just shit.
It was
all over the shop.
Or I would have rather they just do like a tag team turmoil match or something, have them all in there, have it be a big clusterfuck. So at least it's kind of covered. Like you don't see all the mistakes that are happening.
Yeah.
Rather than one after another.
Or just put that on fucking SmackDown and do the Andre Memorial Battle Royal on, because I think the multi-man stuff works well for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
We've done that on night 1. Jey Uso or Jimmy, I still don't know which one he is. Could have won it still, and it still would have worked the next night. You know, it'd be all good.
Yeah, and that you would have also had Shinsuke Nakamura getting like people chanting his music, because he's back to his own music, and that would have just been a really big like crowd moment, because you would have had, hopefully, I think it's Jay getting booed for winning, because I can't remember either.
Anyone watching this knows. Comment.
An Uso, but Shinsuke would have been the one getting cheered, and then it would have gotten the Uso more heat for winning because they beat Shinsuke, who is a face again. And you know, maybe, but I guess it was wanting to get more women's matches on the card. But like you say, you still could have done this on SmackDown and have the winners fighting for the tag team titles on this night or the next night. So,
and then maybe just even if you put it together last minute, just have a Bayley match like everyone wanted. No one wanted to see Bayley just walking around every now and then in the back with Titus, but we'll get to that too.
Saying fucking ding dong. Exactly. And then we're on to another very good match. Yeah, it was that lovely man impregnator, Seth Rollins.
Oh, okay.
Against Cesaro.
Yeah, okay. This was one that I was excited for going into it.
Definitely. And I think a lot of people were, because this had the potential to be Cesaro's kind of breakout. And I know we've been saying that for a very long time now. As was pointed out in like the preamble in the video package that Seth Rollins made, where it's like he's been in WWE for a decade. You kind of just making us realize that you have just booked him really badly. This just reflects badly on you.
That's not even taking into account like his developmental. He's been there longer than a decade. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, which is really, when you also think about it, then it makes you realize how old these people are, because Cesaro spent I don't know how long in the Indies. He was in ROH, 5 years?
I know Jim Cornette talks about working with him in OVW, I think it was, or whichever one it was at that point.
So, like, he's
Claudio.
He's been in these systems so long, and it just goes to show that, like, you're not exactly getting fresh young talent very often. You're getting grizzled vets. But this was another one where the fire didn't want to work, because obviously Seth had the fire sticks all lined up.
Yeah.
The ramp.
Yeah. Funnily enough, fire sticks, rain. Shockingly, that might not work very well. I don't know why. Don't know why.
I mean, they could have maybe lined them up along the entranceway, tried to put some kind of covering over them. But no, they decided to do it right down the ramp.
Yeah, or just not do it, because it's not going to work. They're not all going to work. Don't have half of them working. Just scrap the idea. Call an audible.
That's it. So the ones on the right, about 3 of them lit out of 8. So you had 5 that were just standing there, and then the ones on the left, you had about 5. So you're just left with this weird thing.
Yeah. New music as well.
I was going to say you had new music. I think that's all right. I think it's nice. It's introducing the burn it down thing into it.
Yeah.
It was all right. I think they really need to get, as was evidenced with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly's music on NXT, they really need to get somebody in who can do some good music. Why?
Yeah, that's a good point. Why is Adam Cole not using the Undisputed Era music? And even more so as well, if you're not going to use the Undisputed Era music, why does he go on the apron and do the, where is it? Boom! Like it still says it. And then seems surprised when no one does it along with him.
Yeah.
It's a dum-dum. That was all dum-dum. I didn't get it.
Yeah, just really. So hopefully, because obviously I think that, what was it, CFO dollar or CFOs, whatever.
CFOs,
did they break up or something?
Yeah, they've left now. It's not with them now.
Yeah, and there's also been some kind of like legal dispute, I think.
Isn't it?
Just get Jim Johnston back for a bit. Get Big Jim back.
Yeah.
Get him to train somebody and be like, right, here's what you do. You fucking pay attention to the person, and you say to them, what's your character? I'll work on that.
Just get a great musician who's good at writing songs, who's also a big wrestling fan. There's loads of them. I've met great musicians that are wrestling fans. It can't be that hard.
Or you could just do what WCW did, and it's like, should we just nick some really popular songs and change them a bit? Yeah, I'll do that. Self high five. There we go. That's legally distinct.
And AEW as well now, just actually like buying legit songs. Like they had Creep, was it? No, not Creep.
No,
it's like that.
It's a song by the Pixies.
Yeah.
That I can't remember because I'm not a big Pixies fan. But and obviously they got Jungle Boy. No. Jungle Boy.
Tarzan Boy for Jungle Boy.
Tarzan Boy for Jungle Boy,
yeah. I love that. I can't help but sing along to that.
I can't wait to hear like 10,000 people doing that. That's going to be good.
I mean, it's AEW, that would never happen, but sure, yeah, okay.
No, it will.
I know.
In Chicago, in New York, they'll be able to get 10,000.
Yeah, they probably will.
I think they'd struggle. Maybe Philadelphia as well.
They probably would. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I don't know if they should.
Little snarky pants, aren't you?
Yeah. Because I don't know if they should, because they're booking. My God, atrocious. First.
That's another topic for another time.
Definitely.
I was really happy how behind Cesaro the crowd were as well, because that was another thing that could have really made or broke him, is if people were indifferent to him.
Yeah.
They probably would have been like, and we're going to stop any kind of momentum. But they were really behind him. Like, this could be it. Maybe it's Cesaro who gets the challenge for their title soon. I'm not bothered about Cesaro winning, but to have him in the main event scene, that's just what I want. Just to have him get that sweet rub.
I don't know, but then could he just? I mean, we say that, but then think about Shinsuke. You know.
Yeah, did much go to ground?
No, he had the main event, AJ Styles and everything. You know, turned heel at the end of it.
Yeah, but I think that was also partly down to them, and like his attempts to get the title off of Jinder Mahal failing as well.
Yeah, I mean that was after that, wasn't it? Though.
Yeah,
that's another point. It's something I meant to mention. You said earlier about when they were all on the ramp and out with the wrestlers. Why was Jinder Mahal there, but why was Jinder Mahal in his wrestling gear for it?
Yeah.
Listen, he had high hopes for that night, didn't he?
Yeah, it's
the wrestling call me rule. On last minute.
Wrestling rule, man. Always have your gear. He definitely had his gear. But yeah, it does make you wonder, like, what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck do you think was going to happen, dude?
Like, there's nothing on the pre-show that you're involved in, so were you just hoping someone's going to ring in sick?
What did you think was going to... Oh, yeah, but I love that anyway.
Overall, this is just another, like, really good match. Just really well executed overall.
If something was missing, I don't know why.
I know what you mean. There was, like, this is why I say it was good. It wasn't great. It was, again, it is maybe just the fact that there was a crowd there, but it was just like, it was a good match. Like, overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, it wasn't. They could both probably have a better match, but I had no issues with this match. It was a good match.
You know what? Maybe that's all it is. Maybe they're just going to keep that storyline going for a few more months, so they don't want to get everything out in one go, which is smart if so. And to be fair as well, I just remembered that Cesaro did that UFO swing thing in it. That's ridiculous. I've seen it before. I don't know if it was him that I saw do it, but I have seen that before. It's just so ridiculous, but great ridiculous.
He is a freak athlete, as they say. He's just got something massive tendon strength. I don't know, but
just massive. It's just more pure core, that is, because he's got to keep himself so centered for Seth Rollins to be able to keep himself centered. And fair play to Seth as well for letting him do that, because I can imagine you need a lot of trust for that, because you just do.
Yeah, exactly. If you're slipping off of that, because he did it twice, didn't he? I think
that once.
There's just once, but if you slip off of that, that's potentially dangerous move.
Yeah.
Cesaro wins, and just happy with that result. And like I said, when they're hearing the crowd at the end react so good to him, was man, about that. Although, side note, what I would like to see Cesaro take on Walter, because I think that could be good.
Forearm versus a chop. Although Cesaro doesn't use the chop to win his matches, and Walter does for some reason, which was just weird to me. Very weird.
I found it really weird that on NXT Walter used a chop to win, but at the same time, I enjoy that that was like the worst chop he's ever done as well, annoyingly. But I like that it was so because his chops are fucking brutal. I would not in a fucking month of Sundays let him do that to me. But to sell how powerful it is, having him win with it, that actually reminded me of when Cesaro and Sami Zayn had a match in NXT, which was 2 out of 3 falls,
Good to remember
and
that.
Cesaro won a fall with just a headlock because it was so like you just put it on so tight that Sammy couldn't break it.
Oh,
and
wow.
He passed out. And that it's being that believable that something so mundane can beat you.
Yeah.
So I just really like to see those two going at it in a wrestling sense.
I'm glad you pointed that part out for us.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what you meant up until then. So you want to take them out to dinner?
I mean, if they'll be my friend.
Oh, that'll be your friend.
So after this, it was time for the Raw tag team titles to be on the line. And it was the New Day versus
a proper, I don't know, proper Big E entrance. You got to make that point.
Yeah. And it came out as well. And it was just like, oh, happy fun times. And I do like the I don't like the AR stuff for the most part, but I do like New Day's little Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they did a fusion
together.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Into a Xavier Kingston or whatever. And yeah, I'm like
Extinction.
Yeah.
Extinction. There you go. That works.
Extinction. Yeah, that's one I do like. They've got some good stuff. And
yeah, I was all
they were against AJ Styles and they're debuting Amos. A moose. However we say his name. I enjoyed that he didn't have wrestling gear. It's like, you will continue to wear the exact same thing that you do every week and have done ever since you were on Raw Underground. There you go.
He didn't have sleeves, I guess.
Yeah, he went casual. Okay,
I'm okay with that. I don't mind it. I think it's a bit weird why they always feel like they have to be in their pants. Personally, I still think it's weird.
But the pants are why I watch. No, it like when you do think about it, and it's best not to, but when you think about watching wrestling, you're like, I'm just watching two men jumping around, landing on top of each other in their pants. This is weird.
Yeah,
and yet
we have a look for it.
Yeah, weird. This was a bit of an odd one because I liked the kind of smack talk that Xavier and Kingston were doing when they were like isolating AJ and stopping him tagging in or tagging out rather, and it reminded me of like Bubba Ray, like what he'd do, and if you ever saw. Well, they were just called Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish in NXT, but if you ever saw them, like when they were Red Dragon as well, especially in New Japan, Bobby Fish. I
didn't know them until NXT. So
Bobby Fish is just like an A-grade shit talker. When he's in the ring, he just abuses people, and it's really funny and it's really good. But then at the same time, that really made the New Day the heels. Because they were just like they were teasing, that like, oh, you're gonna take it, oh no, you're not, loser, and it's like, oh, this is a bit of a weird one, especially then because when Amos came in, like Xavier, they were just like, whoa, he was doing the heel back off, and it was again, it was one of those where it was a weird mix of things.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's. I know what you're saying completely. Everyone's kind of been doing that with us as well, though, like the backing up, like really selling his size and that. I get that. But yeah, I know what you mean. But at the same time, I think with the New Day's act, the arrogance of it all, it just works for me. I find them hilarious. I've never got bored of them ever, and I hope they continue to get more and more tag titles and get to that eventual most tag titles ever thing that they obviously are online to do.
I think they probably will do. And yeah, Amos was just booked like a standard big guy. This is just every big guy debut you've ever seen. And what do you do? What finisher do you give to someone who's not probably very good in the ring. You give him some version of the sky high power bomb, where it picks you up under the arms and it drops you down because you pretty much can't fuck it up. So there you go. Except he didn't follow anybody down; he just fucking dropped him. So there's a little bit of potential danger there.
I swear, the time when he did something like it on Raw or recently, and it looked better than what he did at Mania. He seemed to have changed it, but I didn't note it down. I don't know what it was now.
Yeah. Omos and Styles wins. The Raw Tag Champs now. I'll be honest, I don't think this was a very good match. I gave it a 4 out of 10 for the smack talk mainly. That was about it.
I mean, do you realise what that means though for Styles now?
Go on.
Which is probably why they did it. He's a Grand Slam champion now, isn't he?
It depends how it works, doesn't it? Because does he have to win the SmackDown tag team titles as well to be a Grand Slam?
No, because like they just announced that The Miz was just a Grand Slam champion again for the second time, and he's only done the Raw stuff. So he only had the WWE title, not the Universal. He would have only done one of the tag titles because he's on the one.
Yeah, true.
No. I don't know.
That's fair enough.
And apparently as well, he is now the only Grand Slam champion in WWE and TNA.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. It probably will be the only one ever that does
yeah.
that.
I saw someone mention that, like just a comment on something. I haven't checked it, but I was just going from my own memory. I can't think of anyone that would come close to being. I can't think of anyone that was in TNA that then gone on to win the world title. But in AJ, Samoa Joe, like
yeah, Joe did win it. And he definitely won the tag titles, but he never won the various TV title.
The X Division
legend. Oh no, he won the X Division.
Yeah, he won the X Division. Yeah.
But they had like a TV title.
It
was a TV title, but before that, it was like a Legends title.
There was a Legend title. There was a King of the Mountain title.
Yeah, there was. So it depends what you like. Class it as, but Joe, I fear that Joe is too injury prone.
Definitely
to become a Grand Slam champion in WWE.
Definitely.
Unfortunately,
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a shame. Big shame.
Maybe he is getting back in the ring, seeing they've taken him off the Raw commentary. Maybe we will see.
Oh, is that what you meant earlier? Did you say that Joe's off of it?
Yeah, Joe's going as well.
Maybe then
he's been replaced by Corey Graves. So
is Corey on both then again?
I don't think they've announced what's happening with SmackDown, so we will see.
Corey's my favourite announcer by far out of them all.
Yeah, he seems to get a lot of shit, but I've never minded Corey Graves. I've always seen him as all right. He just, he's a heel commentator, and that's what you need sometimes.
Yeah. I love it when he goes crazy, like when Mandy Rose or someone comes out, just the way he reacts to some of the women coming out. It's like Jerry the King Lawler, but the respectful Jerry the King Lawler. He's not talking about the moves and stuff, but it's like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Things just got infinitely better, Cole. And also,
he was on point for both of these nights as well. He kept calling out Michael Cole on his bullshit, on mistakes, and he was just funny and making me laugh both nights.
I've got a lot of time for Corey Graves. I don't like badmouth him so much. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Now, the next match was everybody's two favorite wrestlers. It was Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman.
Oh God, I forgot this happened. Yeah. I had the whole time they were talking about the lightning strikes and all that and the thunderstorm and that. I was just thinking, I hope it's gone before the steel cage match, because I know my old anxious mind. I worry so much when people are going to get injured all the time. I'll just be thinking that they're going to get electrocuted, the inside of it, but it's gone away since then.
Shane McMahon was probably like, yeah, electric, yeah, more risk.
This was a weird one, this match.
Yeah, I also don't understand why they decided to bring in Jerry Lawler to make it a 4-man booth for one match. That just seemed random, out of nowhere.
Especially for that match as well.
Yeah. Shane McMahon's punches are just the worst. Just the worst. Like, It's very rare that I ever think I'm better than anyone at anything. I am 99% confident I can do a better working punch than Shane McMahon can. Because he just fucking annoys me.
He doesn't even work in punch, he just punches, doesn't he?
Yeah, but
Potatoes him.
yeah, just fucking weird. Before the match, Elias and the racist, Jackson Riker. I get Riker and racist confused.
I don't know if I'd say he's a racist. No,
He probably.
he might be, but the thing he said doesn't necessarily mean he's a racist. That word gets thrown around too much, but he's a dick and an idiot, at least.
And so they attacked Braun before the match. Okay, fair enough. You're sending Braun in with an impediment. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I'll buy that. That's fine. Something else I noticed these few days. So part of what happened, they were both up on on the cage in the corner, and Shane McMahon gets out a toolbox.
Yeah.
And he just fucking dinged Braun Strowman right in the head. Right in the head. And speaking of Cole and O'Reilly, in the Cole and O'Reilly match, Adam Cole smashed Kyle O'Reilly in the face with a flat screen TV.
Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, so I'm just kind of really hoping that we're not trying to bring more things back into head hitting. That's Shane
McMahon just knowing he can get away with anything he wants.
Yeah, more than likely.
I don't know about TakeOver, but
yeah,
it's probably slightly gimmicked. It's a flat screen. You could easily gimmick a flat screen telly.
Yeah. Only did it with the metal sheet as well. That I think.
The sheet metal thing.
Twatted him on the head with that as well,
and he did his jumping, flying to the face thing that he used to always do.
Yeah. And that metal sheet is probably like a cookie sheet, like just made out of aluminium or something.
Yeah, cool.
Even so.
Just a general idea of it, because as soon as you start doing it again, then it's just going to normalize it and people will think it's okay to keep doing it. It's just, you're right, it's just, shouldn't be doing that now.
Slippery slope. Like the match itself was just fairly meh. But
yeah, it really was.
I am a very simple man. And if I can see a big beefy boy rip a cage open, God damn it, you won me back. God damn it, you won me back.
I was watching that when he was over, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's just gonna win." Okay, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then he must have got up there so quick as well because he was just there in a moment. I've never seen that before.
And then he grabs Shane's hand through the mesh, drags it through, and obviously it's gimmicked, it's doctored to let him in, but at least he saw that it was like some struggle, and then just ripping out the cage bit and dragging Shane back through. I was like, nah, you sly devils. You still got it in the tank when you need to, don't you? So then obviously we were all waiting, like, well, Shane has to die at some point. It is written. And of course it happened. So the backup on a corner on the cage, and Braun grabs him under in the armpit. And what was it? I'll show you who's stupid, I think he screams.
Something
and
like
gives
that.
him the Beal into the ring. So not the worst fall that Shane has ever taken by any means. But not a fall I would want to take.
I mean, you say it was a veal. I forget. I get confused what the actual word is for that. A veal, I think. But it kind of wasn't. It was just more of a tiny tap, slight push, and it was just Shane just jumping off the cage. You could have. I didn't understand why we needed like this match. I'd have thought if something was going to happen with it, why this whole thing happened is because they had like an idea in mind for a particular spot with Braun being a big, beefy dude. But what they did, anyone could have done that. It didn't show off strength at all. There was no strength in that. Gravity doesn't need strength.
No. And so Braun has killed Shane. Shane is dead on the floor. And Braun is obviously up on the top of the cage. So it makes perfect sense from here is for Braun to climb back into the ring. Yeah. And then do his running power slam and then beat Shane.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it would have made far more sense that Braun climbs down, wins, then gets like a table out from under the ring and was like, raise the damn cage. Just set some shit up. And it's like, I'll fucking show you who's stupid again. And just goes to town and just destroys Shane for a minute or so and brings Elias and Riker back. And, like say a table each, just like smash, smash, smash. Then be like, Braun! And oh, there we go. That's the big beefy boy I like to see. But yeah, so this match, again, in terms of like the quality of it, I'm probably giving it a 4 out of 10. And again, that is primarily based on strong man.
Yeah, I'd agree. It wasn't a great match. I mean, I didn't have an issue with the whole like him getting off the cage and slamming him, but yeah, I could just see it as him just wanted to hurt him more, wanted to get the pin.
Yeah,
but it was just weird anyway, in my opinion. That whole bit, it was just I don't know. But I loved the ripping through the cage, so after that, I was happy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now the next match was the one that everybody was curious to see.
Yeah.
Because this was the baddest bunny.
Oh, he's a bad bunny, this man.
Goddamn bad bunny.
Before we put him over too much, did you worry, though, when it started and all those bunnies were coming to the ring, that was actually Bad Bunny's entrance? Because I was worried.
Yes, I'm not going to lie, I was.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
I was so worried. And scared, in all honesty. It creeped me the fuck out.
There's also a brief bit where it's like, oh, is Adam Rose back? Oh no, okay.
It's fine. And it's like there was like 3 or 4 of them whose ears must have broken because they only had one ear by the time they got to the ring.
A lot of people mentioned that, and I'll be honest, I didn't notice because I was too busy going, what the fuck is this?
I was paying too much attention to this whole bit. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I think I was...
I'm having a flashback. What is this?
I was either... Because I was watching this while I was doing work and stuff. So I was either doing work or I was doing the washing up or something else. Because I was just like, I'm not going to pay this great deal of attention because no. So Bad Bunny and Damien Priest against Johnny Drip Drip and
MC MRZ. Hey, ho ho. Dun, 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 dun. I can't remember the new one, so going out of my head.
Hey, ho ho.
Hey, hop hop. Dun, 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 dun. They're actually very similar. Now I realise it.
Yeah, I even made a note that says Ms. Morrison's entrance. Just no.
Yeah, they should not have been singing along. Yeah, I forgot about that. They should not have been singing along. That did not work. No. It would never have worked.
No. And my second thing that I wrote, so this is even before Damien Priest's entrance, I just put, I'm predicting I'm going to give this 3 out of 10. So let's see what happens. Damien Priest came out in his Shawn Michaels S&M gear. It is written. As it must be. I do like Damien Priest, so there's just something about him. I remember seeing him when I went to a Ring of Honor show and he was Punishment Martinez. And
I've heard that name a lot. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And I just remember it was kind of it was a bit of a nothing match, like it wasn't there for anything, and he was just part of a put together like 3-man team.
Yeah.
But I just remember seeing him and thinking something about this guy. I don't know what it is, but I like him.
I see that. It's just his look, his sound, everything about him.
I think he had the goatee or the beard then. He had a bit of a Roman Reigns look about him. But there was, like I said, something. So I'm really glad that, because obviously originally it was just going to be Bad Bunny against The Miz.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would have been particularly good.
I wouldn't have until before it, then no, I wouldn't. After it, I think it still would have been as good, but
I think it was. But I think Priest and Morrison both had like minor injuries.
Yeah.
Which is probably why some didn't necessarily do the most out of like why it seemed to be mainly Miz and Bunny that were doing a lot of the work. But yeah, I think it was definitely a better idea to do it as a tag match.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely.
Again, similar to Amos, not entirely sure what Bad Bunny's wearing. That seemed very odd. Like that seemed like something that maybe a boxer would wear to sweat out weight. It just seemed like you'd be incredibly warm in his jumper and jogging bottoms combo.
When you say that, he was riding on a truck before he got there. It'd have been cold on the truck if he was in panties. That would have been cold.
True. It did help to not accentuate how painfully thin he is, though. So that was probably
like, that's the reason why, because he has no muscle on him whatsoever.
Yeah, it's bad enough. Yeah, it's bad enough. Like Leon, I can't take Leon Ruff seriously in NXT, and I feel like that would be his body type, and you'd just be like, no. You were up against if you can make the Miz look like a muscular man, then. And not that the Miz isn't a muscular man, but like compared to the other people in WWE, he's on the smaller side.
Not that the Miz isn't a muscular man, but the Miz isn't a muscular man. He's just not.
The boys got some beef.
No, he's all right. I'm a big fan of the Miz. I was happy when he had the title.
Yeah.
But
So Bad Bunny had actually been training for like 3 or 4 months before this, and it did show.
Sure.
To say I was impressed would be overstating it. I was pleasantly surprised with how good he was.
Yeah.
But I think that comes along with he's a fan of wrestling.
Yeah. It's all in his head.
Yeah, he was going to be taking it seriously. It wasn't going to be like one of the usual ones where, they're just coming in for a doss about.
It wasn't going to be a Logan Paul.
We'll get to
that. Yeah. You know what, though? I feel like we're going to slightly disagree on this because I thought Bad Bunny was the best celebrity match, the best celebrity performance, the best celebrity, whatever words you want to put after that. It was just great. Everything that he did was like pretty perfect. Like he did so much more than I expected. He got worked over for quite a while too. He did like a Falcon Arrow. He did a fucking bunny destroyer on the outside. Even the tiniest fundamentals though, like when he went for the pin, he even got the legs right. He didn't just lay on top of them like most people do. Every fucking celebrity or anyone like that just lay kind of on them. Like that guy from In Between trying to have sex with a girl the first time. It's like that normally. But no,
it's fair.
I was so pleasantly surprised. Very impressed.
The Miz's selling ability, his ability to work, really helped. Same with John Morrison, because they're two. Like John Morrison, especially, is really good at selling. You have made a 2-time world champion and Grand Slam champion look an absolute dick, though, with the amount of offense that Bad Bunny got in on him.
I think I kind of made it better as well, though, because that made it more surprising because he had recently been a champion. But at the same time, it doesn't really hurt him that much because he's just a weasel of a champion anyway. It works for him.
I will give Bad Bunny credit that like the dive he did off the turnbuckle was a lot better than the one he did at the Rumble where he just where he just fell. At least he actually jumped, so that was good.
He did a bunny hop.
Now, speaking of the Bunny Destroyer, if Bad Bunny is doing a destroyer, retire the move.
I know.
No, the move is dead. The move is dead now. Sorry, this should be that. I remember seeing a Canadian destroyer for the first time being like, oh, that's amazing. And now you've got 51-year-old Dustin Runnels doing it. You've got 60-plus-year-old, what's his called? Is it Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll?
Yeah.
He does it. And now you've got and now you've got Bad Bunny doing a destroyer.
But
the move is dead. The move is dead.
You're right.
No more. Don't do it anymore.
Do you know why I didn't mind him doing it here though? Is because in WWE, if you think about it, all those people you mentioned then, that was all AEW, like, and the Indies. WWE, they like Michael Cole didn't even know what he was called. Like I can't think of another person that did that. I mean, maybe Rey Mysterio, but that was like half a year ago at least. And even before that, I can't think.
Adam Cole and the Panama Sunrise.
Oh, that's NXT. That's a whole different company, basically.
And in that,
Not a third band.
That's another thing that fucks me off is when they do it and it doesn't beat the man, which has been the case for Adam Cole many a time. The move is dead. Just give it. Don't do no fucking destroyers for a year now. That's the rule.
The Panama Sunrise is slightly different though, because he always does it off the turnbuckle and then follows the momentum. So it's a little bit different at least. But it's a signature move, so he shouldn't get the win anyway.
People think it looks so good, and you're not winning with it, and the move is dead.
You know, I'm trying to stick up for it, but you're right. The move's dead. I'm not. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And yeah, to speak about liking the Miz, 10 years ago, the Miz was beating John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania to retain the world title. This year, he is losing to a rapper who I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
English is definitely not his first language. I don't know if I liked it, but it was this nice little thing. Did you see it on night? I think it was on night 2.
The tour announcement.
Yeah, where Triple H hands him a case and it's just like, you gotta go back to your world now. And he gets back on the truck. There we go. And it's a microphone. I'm going on tour.
And he says tour 2022 on the briefcase as well.
Yeah.
So I really like that, yeah.
I thought it was quite good. So like that, just let that be the end of his involvement. Like I said, I give him massive credit. You know, he did really well, but I just don't.
It's 2022. There's plenty of time for him to do more. Yet. I don't think that will be the last we'll see of Bad Bunny for now. It might have been the idea before, and then they saw what he did. Unless Bad Bunny's like, yeah, I almost got dropped on my head once, so I don't want to do it again or something.
Yeah.
Which I can understand.
I mean, like this is where he peaks. I feel like, you know, he won the 24/7 title. He never lost it. He relinquished it, which, like, are you afraid of making Bad Bunny look weak? Is that what you're afraid of?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was thinking that.
the fucking immortal Bad Bunny.
I didn't mind him relinquishing the title, and how he did it as well. He did say, "I respect like the company," and basically said, "I know I don't deserve to have a title, even this joke of a title."
Yeah. So yeah, just let that be the end. I'm fine with him guest starring again at some point, but you know, he's got a win at WrestleMania. Just let that be the end. 4 out of 10. Oh, but also Damian Priest's entrance is made for something like a WrestleMania, because I also think that's an amazing entrance with the. I dig Damian Priest.
I wish I could comment, but I ran to the toilet during his entrance.
No.
Because I really wanted to see Bad Bunny. I knew Bad Bunny would be doing something. Then I heard Damian.
Yeah, he was.
And I was like, okay.
Bad Bunny was the one that got the fucking Triple H entrance. Like, that's where they spent the money, is it? Okay.
Arguably the Fiend, but we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so, main event?
The main event of the evening. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. And I'll be honest, going into it, I wasn't particularly invested in the story.
Same.
Overall.
They've done a terrible job of booking the story. It was written, it should have wrote itself, but they destroyed that story to me.
And the thing is, I just don't like Bianca Belair. I don't understand people that do, because Bianca Belair is essentially doing the exact same thing that Kurt Angle did when he came in, of just bragging about being the best.
Yeah.
And Kurt Angle literally was the best. And he was hated, but she comes in and is liked. And she's done the same thing since NXT, and I've just never understood it. She is a heel. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, because I liked her in NXT. I really liked Bianca Belair, and I liked her whenever I saw her wrestle. But as soon as her character started appearing, more after the Rumble as well, I just stopped liking her. I loved her as soon as she was in the ring. But then I think it's just whenever they're always going on about like soppy stuff and that, it's like it's wrestling. We're not here for that, man.
Yeah,
but this is takes your mind off all that kind of stuff.
And I don't. This is something that I noticed. I don't know if you did as well, but on Bianca's entrance in the middle, the middle portion right behind her, did say the EST of NXT. And I was like, that's not been updated, has it? Yeah, if you go back and look at it, then you'll be like, oh, yeah, EST of NXT. I mean, she's been on the main roster since the Rumble.
I don't even know how they do that. Yeah, how they even do that, because I'm sure I've seen EST WWE in other things, like her usual things. Oh, it's not surprising. I didn't notice that at the time, so it's not the worst thing. I was more noticing her just seemed to be falling apart at the beginning of it and on the way.
Yeah, you could see, especially when they were getting ready in the ring, and you could see the lip going like. And then Sasha has to turn away because she will cry at the drop of a fucking hat. So she's got to turn away so that she doesn't start bawling as well. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're going to win.
But I get it. It's emotional. Sort the fucking shit out. Don't go to the ring crying. You're supposed to look like that. What? Don't.
Do it at the end. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because that's the story. But doing it at the beginning, that like... It would be okay if it had been like, it's just been my lifelong dream to get into WWE, and then I've got to do this, and now I'm going to main event WrestleMania. This is literally the biggest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. This is beyond what I've strived for, and I can't even process the emotions. Like have that as the build up to it, and then get into the ring, and then that makes sense.
Yeah, if they'd have made a big point about it.
Yeah. But she's not that. She's like, I'm the fastest. I'm the quickest. I'm the strongest. I'm the best. I'm a badass bitch.
I mean, that's going on the assumption it was planned. I don't think it was planned at all.
No.
And
that's the thing.
Like, fucking sort your shit out. Come on.
Yeah.
Fucking sort your shit out. It's not the time to get overly emotional. I get it. I get why you are. But I was just waiting for Sasha to slap her or something to snap her out of it. But
yeah, exactly. I think that would have just been a real nice little thing.
Yeah, that would have worked so well.
If Sasha would have been able to keep her shit together. Like if it would have been Bailey, I think that's what would have happened. She would have been like, fucking man up or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like a Becky Lynch, or probably like a Rhea Ripley would have done the same, just smashed her in the face and start it off.
Mrs. Ripley would have done that. Whew! She is a badass. Look at that.
The actual match, I had no issues with the match. I thought it was a very good match overall.
I zoned out a few times watching it, in all honesty.
I had no major issues with it, other than the usual issues I have with the Sasha Banks match, which is you are going to hurt yourself because you just fling yourself into things recklessly. And like with Charlotte Flair, there's certain things that she does that I feel really unsafe for the person that she's with. Whereas with Sasha Banks, I feel like the things that she does is just really unsafe for her. Like I feel like she will do everything to protect the other person, but herself, no, she won't.
I suppose that's better out of the two. Like it really is. But I know what you're saying. And when you get older and you start developing, you just can't help it. You start developing just pure worry when you're watching these people. You just don't want them to die.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't help it.
There's a point in wrestling where you start going from to, and that's when you know that you've grown up. I really liked the bit where Bianca got up in the gorilla press on the outside, walked up the stairs. And it was a bit of a limp kind of flop into the ring, but I can forgive that because it was kind of that's what I like to call like a Cesaro moment, where you're like, oh, freaky strength, that's cool. I also like that
Sasha was having her as well to let her do that, because that could have gone really bad as well.
Oh yeah,
slightest thing.
Yeah, especially if you slip on the way up the steps.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and the head way down there, however you land, it's not going to be good.
I also really liked how involved Bianca's hair got with it, like in
Yeah.
the Sasha, because that is effectively like a weakness. You've got this, it's not just normal long hair. This is like weirdly long braided hair. So she was doing everything like use it and tugging it and getting her in the bank statement with it or in like crossface with it. I thought that was really good. And then the main bit with the hair.
Oh man, that was painful.
Like
fuck a water chop. Oh
yeah,
my God. I'd take 70 of them first before that.
Literally like a whip. That was how a whip works. That was it. Literally exploding air. What you heard when she just reeled back, whipped her on the right across the ribs.
Instant mark as well.
Yeah, and just seeing it at the end of the match as well, where you saw how red it was, and it literally looked like a slice.
Yeah, it looked like a cut rather than a welt, they always call it.
I wonder if Sasha Banks has posted like an after picture.
Exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
Because that is going to be fucking gnarly. Like that. I think I would rather take the Walter chop than that.
Yeah.
Because like that was, and like this is an open air stadium as well, and you heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
You heard
it was loud enough to echo loudly in an open air place.
Exactly. It sounded like somebody doing the loudest possible clap right next to your ear, like, and hearing 25,000 people go, "Ooh!" Yeah, not even the usual like, "Woo!" Ooh, just like, "Oh, God, that hurt. That was real."
It was freaking good though.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything particularly great about how it ended. I just remember she did her I forget the names. It's not
KOD.
KOD, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a like it wrapped up pretty much straight after that. She gave her the whip. She picked her up out of it, and then she hit her, I think, and then picked her up again, hit her with a KOD, got the 1-2. Oh, actually, I did. There was the one where she hit the 450 and got the 2 count and did the Seth Rollins face. Did Bianca Belair 1-2, and Sasha kicked out, and Bianca was like, I just massively over-egged that particular pudding.
Was it this match? I might be wrong. Was it this match where the Bianca or whoever it was, if it's not this match, won, and then Michael Cole was like, "Oh my God, they kicked out." No, Cole, they won. Oh
no, it was this match.
Oh, and that was ridiculous.
Yeah, so now Bianca Belair will just have to have this, like, request this tape without the commentary on for the last little bit, because it was just like, oh, I thought you kicked out.
So how? Watch this. She didn't kick out at all. There was nothing that looked anything like a kick out.
Yeah, what?
I thought maybe I went back because I thought maybe it was like a Ronda Rousey Becky Lynch moment, but no, nothing.
Oh, she was flat on the canvas. That was no kick out. What are you on about? you daft bastard. So Bianca Belair wins, and then she's allowed to be happy. That's fine. Do you crying? Have your fucking moment. I'm okay with this.
And then because I know it didn't happen while it was on the telly, but I'm assuming because from night 2 when they were showing what happened the night before, saw clips of Montez Ford going around with her doing it. So I'm guessing they, got to celebrate for quite a bit still with everyone.
Yeah, I think I read things saying that they did, like, he came down to the ring, and obviously her family were at ringside. So yeah, they had like a few minutes post Mania where they got to have a little celebrate, which is nice. And that wrapped up night 1 in a nice.
And that was the first ever singles women's title match to main event, wasn't it?
Yep. Because obviously the only other women's main event was the triple threat.
Yeah.
I don't think one did one. No one didn't do it yesterday, did it? Because
no, last year there definitely wasn't one of them. The 2 ending ones were. I can't remember what. I think Drew and Lesnar was the last, wasn't it?
Yeah, during those was last, but it wasn't because it was Strowman and Goldberg for the Universe. So
I don't think that went on last though on the first night.
No, I didn't.
Why would you?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So let's jump on straight onto night 2 then. I mean, there was some stuff at the beginning with Titus and Hogan, but I think we've covered a lot of that already. Everyone booed fucking Hogan whenever. Yeah. Unless there's anything you want to point out about that particular bit.
I enjoy it when they have a host of WrestleMania and you see them. I think cumulatively they were out we saw them about 5 times. Maybe.
I think twice on each night out on the stage, and then maybe once definitely on night 2 anyway in the back. I think on night 1 as well.
They did it once on night 1 as well, where Hook was in the NWO get up.
Yeah, that was it. And Bailey popped up.
Yeah, but yeah.
Was this when they were dressed as pirates? I think.
Yeah, and Hogan just constantly saying "R." Oh dear!
I swear he said, he said "yo" like a couple of times. I think it was mean to say. No, that was sorry. He came out the one time at the beginning, and I swear to God, rather than saying "yah ha ho" or something like that, he went "ho ho ho," and then later on he tried to do it again. And he went "yo yo yo." That got a bigger boo because Hogan, obviously, and then I just loved it when freaking Titus pulled out the sword and pointed it. He wasn't actually pointing it at Hogan, but he put it in his direction. There was such a cheer for it. I loved that.
Yeah. But Hulk, you silly boy.
But the first match, Randy Orton versus The Fiend.
Yeah.
Okay, so I expected a cinematic match, first of all, from this. And I don't know why, because it made no sense because the crowds were there. So I don't know why I expected that.
I was expecting a Firefly Funhouse match. That was what I was hoping for.
But I think in the long run, it worked better. In the sense of it would be ridiculous putting on a cinematic match in the sense of putting on a cinematic match in front of the first crowd you've got forever. And if you were going to do that, it would have been ridiculous not to do it during the time that the weather stuff was going on night 1. Yeah.
And maybe they keep it going for one more, like going on a Backlash, whatever the next one's going to be. And then
no. WrestleMania Backlash.
What?
Did you not see that announcement?
No.
It's called WrestleMania Backlash. It's everything of WrestleMania with the same sign and everything, just with the word Backlash. May 16th, I think it was. Something like that.
Oh, so they probably are going to do this then. Okay.
Good. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on this in general anyway, so please go ahead and let me know what you thought about this, because I've seen a lot of different opinions online.
I was really surprised it was on first. I like that the Fiend is back and it's not the weird burn Fiend.
I love the new style and the new mask and everything.
Yeah. Why did they bring the red light back?
Yeah. Okay. The red light is okay. We missed some stuff there though before we got to the red light, because I understand that part. How did you feel about Alexa coming out? And I don't know about you, but when Alexa was coming out at first, I was like, because they started it off with the Fiendy kind of stuff. They showed that thing of him like kind of turning into the original Fiend, or kind of original. And then they had Alexa come out. No, yeah, because they had the lights going off like he does, and Alexa came out. I thought that was a bit weird, a bit jumpy, because those two things don't go together to me. But then halfway through her coming out, she started staring at the camera, and I got freaked the fuck out.
Yeah,
it was creepy as hell.
I think she's probably been the star of that whole feud. Personally, I think she's just gone full bore in it. Like I didn't think it was a really very good fit when they first kind of had her doing stuff, but yeah, happy to be proven wrong. She has become a really good piece of that.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. She was a bit shaky in the first couple of weeks. So I remember thinking that, like, you need to go more into it, but she got past that very quickly.
And the big Jack in the Box.
No.
What?
The box-like structure, Michael Cole. It's not a Jack in the Box. It's a box-like structure.
The box-like structure. The local medical centre. that just happens to look like a hospital.
Yeah, but it's not a hospital though.
Like, I guess it made sense having that because she's had the box-like structure before.
Made perfect sense. Yeah.
I was amused where she's like, the first
Yeah.
and then she's like, fucking hell, come on, hurry up, Jesus Christ, hurry up! Oh my god, just slowly getting more like,
Yeah, I'll give him that one.
Yeah, and then the thing coming out, I guess you needed to give him a big entrance, and that was different, at least. I don't understand. Like, I would have had it, like, he'd come up like he did, and been staring at Randy, and then just jump and dove on him, rather than he just sort of looked around and then went around and got in the ring and like, oh, this is.
He dove on him eventually. That's exactly what happened in the end.
I know, but he should have just done it straight away. Just popped up.
But we needed time to hear the music, though, didn't we? That music, man. Because I don't know about you, I was weird. I was really pumped up when I saw that the proper Fiend was coming back, because that was the one thing that bothered me about it all. And then I was a bit like, okay, what's going on with this Jack in the Box? So I was a bit like, okay, this is stupid. This is really dumb. Jack in the Boxes don't even open slowly, for example. But as soon as his music started,
if it had come out like Rey Mysterio used to, booyaka, Fiend 19.
You know what, though, man? Honestly, as soon as the music started, I was all in. I was into it. The moment that music started, I was like, I am in this completely. I love the Fiend stuff. I think people forget the Fiend is just basically based on like a supernatural dead demon murderer thing. Like, I think of Jason Voorhees, I think of Freddy Krueger, I think of Michael Myers, that kind of thing. And that stuff doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to. It doesn't have to make sense all the time exactly as it happens either.
No, I do. I still like the Fiend character, but like, if you'd say, "Oh, what's the best match the Fiend's had?" You'd be like,
Firefly Funhouse?
He's not had a good. That's it. It'd be, which wasn't even a match. It was like there wasn't an ending or anything.
No.
So it makes sense in his own world, but
yeah,
like I just feel like it's still, there's just something missing. But I still love it. Like, it's still great for me.
Yeah,
but there's just something that's missing still, annoyingly.
I think so too. But I think the end of this match provided what that missing piece could be, in all honesty, because the whole, yes, it was going on. The match was very short, as it should have been. The red lights were there, but it was very short. So I wrote on my notes, the red lights normally bother me. I don't seem to care much now, though, and I don't know why. It didn't bother me.
It bothered me just because I remembered how bad it was before. I'm like, why the fuck have they brought this back? And yeah, it was short, so that's fair enough.
Yeah.
The ending did come out of nowhere, though. That was really like, oh.
But I loved it. I don't know why people are so down on it. People hate the ending. They're calling it botched. They ruined the Fiend. I thought it was great. I still think it was great. I think everything about it worked for me. Like, her popping up, the way she looked so creepy with all the stuff pouring down on her, but amazing at the same time as well, because it's Alexa Bliss. You don't get me wrong.
Yeah, obviously.
But so cool. And then people were like, oh, what? And that happens, and then he gets a bit distracted, and then the RKO can kill him, even though fire didn't kill him. It's like, well, I didn't take that from that. I took that as Sister Abigail, who suddenly came back, taking control of the Fiend almost. And in that moment, he could have been weakened. He could have been anything, because she's in control of him. She's taken back the control. It's like, stop being a pandering good guy.
I think what could have sold it more is if it had been done where, say, the Fiend was at kind of the other side of the ring, and Randy Orton maybe swooped in, RKO'd, and the Fiend, while he's being pinned, was kind of laying back and still looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then it'd be like, then it would make sense with that, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, Sister Abigail or whatever is meant to be there is like almost keeping him down, rather than just boom.
Yeah. But it's what I'm saying. No, it's like people wanted to make sense straight away. That isn't ever going to be the case with a character like that. It was never the case with any of those horror movie characters. I guarantee Bray will talk for a minute and it will make sense on Raw or whenever he's next on.
I'll be honest, I gave this match a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Dude's been...
As usual with feed matches, I don't think it was a very good match.
No, I couldn't appreciate it. The match itself, especially, yeah. I phased out through most of the match, in all honesty. Yeah. But I will say, Fiend's been working out in hell. Slim down.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people seem to think it wasn't Bray Wyatt. Fucking dumb. You can see his tattoos. But yeah, it wasn't Bray Wyatt. Sure. Okay.
Who the fuck's idiots?
I've seen everything from like Bo Dallas, for example, as well. I was like, yeah, that was Bo Dallas. You could hear him talking, making his usual noises. He went right to the camera and he was like, did the Brody Lee tribute. Yeah. It was blatantly Bray, but yeah. Of course. After that was the backstage thing again with Eric Bischoff, I believe, and he was there with Hulk Hogan, Titus, and he actually made Hulk Hogan tolerable for a bit. Hogan made me laugh because of something he said to Bischoff. I can't remember what it was, but it was just because of Bischoff.
It was about going on the boat.
We're going to go on the boat, brother. For 83 weeks.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you got a plug in for him, and you got the name in at least, because I know they're quite friendly, them two.
Yeah, they're best pals. Hulk and Bish. I mean, I'll be best pals with a guy who's like, do you want lots of money for a long time and creative control? Yes, I do. Thank you very much. You're now my best friend.
Seems like more of a business relationship than anything, to be fair with them too. But luckily for Bischoff.
Don't get involved with certain parts of that man's life, Bish.
I like you too much, Bischoff. Please don't do it. You got away now. TNA's done. It's over. So we then go on to something we've already mentioned slightly. The women's tag match.
Yeah. Heels versus heels. Why do I care?
I mean, we covered a lot of this, to be fair, already, didn't we? It is literally just... I think we did actually cover most of this. There wasn't any... I don't even remember much really good stuff happening in this.
There wasn't.
I remember Shane... Oh, that was it. So Shayna clocked Natalia with a knee that looked fucking painful. Remember that?
Yeah, she wants to fucking watch what she's doing.
Oh, God, yeah.
She might get a little bit of a reputation, old Shayna.
Oh,
Tamina managed to botch breaking up a pin on nearly.
I was about to say that. Yeah, despite what Cole said, Tamina was not back in time to say that 3 count at all.
Yeah, you could see the referee. 1, 2.
Tamina's here! Oh my god!
Get out! Oh, fucking again.
But why? But the crowd still loved her through it all. Why?
Oh, and also the bit where Nia Jax was on the middle rope and about to do a crossbody, and Natalia and Tamina was like, just waiting awkwardly because like Natty knocked Shayna down, and she was like, and then I was like,
and you know you're expecting a terrible match when you're disappointed at Reginald, isn't there?
Oh god, yeah. That's Reginald.
Yeah, I don't know what Reginald was.
Think about Reginald.
God, yeah, man. I don't know what to say about this match. You know what? In all honesty, I'm not even just saying this. I don't remember who won.
Do you know what? I can't either. I think I'm pretty sure it was Nia and Shayna.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
Oh dear. Let's have a quick Google. I literally my ending comment was the match happened.
I'll tell you what, while you have a look at that.
But one thing, I don't know if you heard this as well as I did. Nia was doing a little bit of trash talking. I can't remember who it was to. Whether I think it might have been Tamina, and she just screams out loud, "You ain't shit! and then the like,
like way too late.
Yeah.
And there was like a horrendous. I'm going to quotations for anyone listening in audio if I actually do put this up as audio. And I always mean to, but I always forget. I'm about 2 weeks behind with the Killed comedy on the audio side too.
Yeah.
But quotations, body slam from Tamina to Nia Jax. What the hell was that? If a person can't do a body slam properly, because Nia gave her weight, you know, she lifted her weight up, allowed her to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that was.
Sort of a loose flop. Yeah.
No, you found a winner?
It is saying that, Shayna and Nia are still champions.
Okay, I mean, that's the better outcome out of the two, to be honest with you. I'm glad that that's the outcome in that case.
Let me just make sure that I'm not...
Yeah, while you're double checking that, I'll quickly mention the next bit that made me laugh so much because I am very easily entertained. It was so funny. You might not have even seen it then in that case, actually. Did you see the Kofi Kingston cricket advert?
Yes, I did.
It was so good. Kofi Kingston, he doesn't touch the floor when he leaves the ring. He's jumping about. Help me out with those pancakes. And then he's like, thanks a lot, baby. He's going on the fucking helicopter. Everything about it, I loved. I was there for that.
It is definitely those two, by the way.
Cool.
I also don't mind that Snickers advert with Baron Corbin.
Oh God, I hate that one.
Oh, I quite like that. I was like, this isn't the kind of biker gear I wanted. You see,
The concept is really cool. It's funny, sorry, until you think about it for more than 2 seconds. You're like, why would it take you putting it all on to work that out?
I don't like to think about things too long when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, I'm doing that again. I'm putting logic to stuff that shouldn't have logic put against it. Okay.
Yeah.
Much like the build to this next match.
It depends what you think the next match is.
Sami and Owens?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. The build is so illogical to this match. I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel like Kevin Owens has been shoehorned in.
Yeah. Just
because he was like, we need someone to fight Sami Zayn. Kevin will do. There's a podcast called the Solar Monster. I don't know if you heard him, called the Solar Monster Sounds Off, but I
like the name though. I
think it was him. Or it might be one of his listeners put forward a really good idea, which is like what this conspiracy stuff from Sami leads to is that not Shayna, Sonya Deville is like working behind WWE or Adam Pearce's back to take over running SmackDown,
which makes sense as well.
And that is kind of what plays into the conspiracy, that he actually knows about this and she's doing stuff to silence him, like putting him in matches that he shouldn't be in and stuff. And that's quite a good idea. So it's definitely not what they're going to do.
No, definitely not what they're doing, dude.
No, not a goddamn chance.
In no way.
But I thought that was a really good idea.
That could work because it works with that little tease they put on about did you see that on SmackDown? They had a little thing backstage segment between Anna Pierce and Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you notice in that segment though? She said, "I don't think it's fair for us to make Dolph Ziggler and Rude defend later on against 3 other teams." Something to that point. She definitely. I checked it a few times to make sure. She's talked about the match that had just happened as if it was happening later on in the night. Yeah, she should run the show. Definitely. Fucking idiot.
Oh dear.
It bothered me. I don't like that. I was about to say I don't like holes in logic, and then I remembered what we're about to talk about. So, yeah. So to me, this feud was that Sami Zayn is going crazy. Kind of feel sorry for him if it's actually, he's just going crazy. In a kayfabe sense, Owens is angry at him because he's going crazy.
And Sammy's gotten him involved in it.
Not really.
No good reason. I don't really.
And then not at all kind of way.
Yeah, it's been tenuous at best, really.
And it's only been like a couple of weeks, and then they just threw Logan Paul in there too.
Because I have no idea where that fucking came from, and hopefully it does not return. Like,
I mean, you know what? I didn't hate him when he was there. In all honesty, I thought he was okay on the mic. He's a YouTuber; it makes sense. I thought he's an athlete after all. You know, he had a boxing match against another YouTuber. I don't know if he's had any more boxing matches, actually, which he lost.
I think he's had like 3
okay
boxing matches, maybe.
He wants to finally win one, probably.
Yeah, I know because they
he was offering out Conor McGregor.
Yeah, him and his brother both boxed. I can't remember. One of them's had like 3, and I think one of them's had 1 or 2. But both of them can get to fuck, quite frankly. Because as human beings, they're fucking scum. But yes, I admit that he was fine in his appearances. He did nothing to irk me other than exist.
yeah, I'll agree with that. And even in this as well at the end, I think he did well with his little bit at the end, but we'll get to that point, obviously. We had JBL on commentary, though. As soon as JBL walked out, I was like, okay, well, I'm into this no matter what.
Maggle!
Yeah, you know, was it? Yeah, that was it. One line that JBL said later on that I had to note down, go back and make sure I got it perfectly. I didn't write that down perfectly then because that doesn't make sense. Okay, but
oh no,
yeah, he said, "Look, as sure as I am that we live on God's flat earth, I am sure there is a conspiracy against Sami Zayn." Her line was great.
That would have also worked in the AJ Styles match.
Yes. How did you feel about this match in general, though? The actual match itself?
It was all right. They've had better matches. There were some good spots in it.
It was a great Blue Thunder Bomb, like Cole called at the right time.
For once.
Definitely wasn't a Michinoku driver.
No, great fucking work, Cole. You've only been doing this job for 25 years.
It's not like it's a new move.
Yeah, you only were there when Taka Michinoku was.
Best Rumble elimination ever. Not for him, but for us. Best.
Yeah. I also really like the bit where I think they've done it before, but where Kevin Owens just like picks Sammy up in a suplex, just throws him onto the ring ropes. I just really like that because it looks devastating.
And the inverted superplex. I always loved that move when he does it. I remember the first time he did it, and I popped so hard for it.
It was a decent match overall, with nothing like special to write home about.
Yeah, it's exactly what you imagine, isn't it? But I'm pretty sure I made a note of this, and I'm pretty sure this was the first time it happened from the first night up until this night as well. First, "This is awesome" chant. I don't remember it happening before this, but it happened here.
I'd say I would go back and review, but I ain't fucking doing that. So, you know what? I'll set you over it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, this is the thing. I didn't make any notes on night one, so I could be wildly wrong there. There's a very good chance I am.
I feel like the first match got a "This is awesome" chant. At least
first match of
night one.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty certain it got a "This is awesome" chant.
I could imagine it.
Yeah. Other than that, then yes.
But like there was, like you were saying, there wasn't really much to this match. I think he just won with a stunner, didn't he? In the end, it wasn't even a surprise stunner. He just pulled him up, like, because that's
yeah.
And then there was a great haluva kick. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. But yeah, I gave this a 6 out of 10 overall. Yeah. Like, they can do better, above average, but they can do better. I'll be honest, I did add a point on because I knew it was going to happen, but I was like, oh, is he going to Vince McMahon it? Is he just going to... But
Oh, okay. I know what
I
I'm about now.
I
I
also
don't know what
like-
the fuck you were talking about then.
Yeah, Vince McMahon's first stunner was Jesus bad. But I also like the way that Kevin Owens kind of worked into it because it was very stone cold. Where obviously Logan Paul,
Logan Paul. Oh, okay.
yeah, where
Yeah.
Logan Paul gets in the ring, and he holds up Kevin Owens' hand, and Owens just looks at his hand like that for ages and brings it down.
I thought they weren't going to do it.
I didn't either. I was like, please follow this through. And then obviously he laughs and then kicks that YouTube son of a bitch in the gut. And he fucking props, decent sell. Weird flip.
Weird flip. I thought he landed on his head properly at first.
Yeah, reminded me like very much how like Rob Van Dam would sell it. Like how Rob Van Dam would sell the RKO where he'd go like a fish and just dive head first on.
Yeah, like Ray Phoenix. He always seems to do that. Just doesn't care about his neck.
Yeah, but props on sell. I'll give him that.
I was just my notes were as soon as Logan Paul got in the ring and that is why is Logan Paul in the ring? Please do it, KO. He's going to do it. Please, KO, do it. The crowd want it. We all know it. Is he going to do it? Fuck yes, he broke him in half with that one.
He's done it. Hooray.
I was so like, come on. I just want to see Logan Paul get hurt. That's all I want. I don't even know why.
That is what it was building up to. Just hit him. Hit him.
But then we had like...
No, go on. I think I know what we're going to say next.
We had a show. I mean, this show in general, WrestleMania, has always been known as the showcase of immortals. It just always has been. And this next segment just epitomized that because we had the most immortal, the greatest of all Hall of Famers with the greatest of... It was Riddle and Carly. Riddle and Carly for reasons. But I enjoyed it so much. So much.
I feel like that must have been a rib on someone, but I don't know who, us as the audience. Especially, like, you could tell the bit where Riddle said something to him and he was just like, nothing. And he just like, no, Carly was definitely meant to say something there. But Riddle, like when Riddle the other week was on Raw and he forgot his line, just like, I forget, bye.
Do you know the story behind that, though? Everyone still thinks it was live. A lot of people still think it's live. It wasn't live.
What?
No, it wasn't live. It was pre-taped, and that just legitimately happened. But Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard thought it was so... Well, Vince McMahon obviously more so. Just found it so hilariously funny that he kept it like it. He kept it in because he loved how Riddle just played it off as a funny thing. It fit his character. He loved how Asuka played it off as well. Apparently, he did a lot for Asuka, like in the back too. I get it. I'm down for that. I get it.
That's fair. I hate Riddle though. So
I don't hate Riddle.
I don't really like it. I did like Rob Van Dam handing out his rolling papers though. That was good.
Yeah, the RVD rolling papers. What the hell? Oh, actually, I just want to quickly check if that's what I think it was. Oh, yes. Alex has sent me something over for the quiz tomorrow, for Wednesday. Yeah, but I cannot talk about that right now because it's a secret surprise.
Oh,
secret surprise.
Oh, is it pictures of our genitals? And we have to guess what movie they're in?
Well, that wouldn't be secret or surprise because you know I have them. You know I put them in all different manners of various images. For my own entertainment, really. Yeah.
I think it's weird how mine already looks like one of the clangers' noses. It's really odd.
Man, you were born with it, not me.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's clanger dick.
But yeah. So they just had RVD rolling papers. I love how much they're not afraid to talk about bud because it's just all legal over there. You know, they don't live in the UK where we have to constantly pretend we're having a legal cigarette when we're on a podcast.
Yes.
I mean, not pretend. What am I on about? That'd be wrong.
Yeah, they're always having legal cigarettes.
Oh, and I also, from these little bits as well, I decided I need to go back onto YouTube and watch all the old Spice WWE YouTube things because they look hilarious.
They do actually look really good. What is annoying about it is the guy who's the Old Spice guy is an NXT talent called Rick Bugenhagen,
Oh,
who he did a couple of shows 3 years ago or something, and I really liked him because he had a really it was like a rocker gimmick, but
Yeah.
he can really he does this really high pitched wail, it's ah, and I just thought he was a really good character, and I thought, oh, I hope he sticks around, and he didn't. But he's the guy who's playing that, so I'm quite glad to see that he's doing something.
yeah.
But I'm now worried he'll never do anything again. And that's
You could, I mean, that's the thing, and you could definitely transfer that to an actual gimmick and make it work. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure Vince wouldn't ever do that.
More than likely not.
No.
Too much like Battle Cat.
So next is Sheamus versus Riddle. Then I'm not basing my opinion on Riddle on any of the outside stuff because there's not enough information available on it from what I've seen and from what the available information there is. Nothing's happened from it, so I'm not basing any of it on that. I really like watching both of these guys wrestle. They're two of my favorites to watch in the ring, without a doubt.
I thought again this was a pretty good match. Just the two, Sheamus isn't afraid to work stiff and be worked stiff, and obviously got the UFC background. So again, this is just one of those good, just strong style matches, if you like. Just some good meat on meat action
with a ramp designed for a scooter as well.
Yeah.
He blew down that scooter so quick you only saw half of it. Literally. I mean, yeah, the pyro for Riddle was way late on this as well. I don't know what the hell happened there. It was way late. Did you notice though what happened in this match with the jackhammer?
No, I don't think so.
I think it was quite far into it, but Riddle went for a jackhammer against Sheamus, and Sheamus just seemed to sandbag him completely.
Oh,
the first time he tried to do it, and then he did it in the end and got it. But I just wonder if Sheamus actually sandbagged him because it's I don't want to do a spot of the guy you don't like just because you don't like him. He hasn't given you permission to use his move. That's not the way you do it.
Yeah.
So I could see that being the case.
Yeah, I could see that. I did like the finish of the match though.
Yeah,
I thought that was just
so good,
especially because it so Riddle doing the moonsault off the ropes into a brogue kick, and obviously you could tell it actually connected because his mouth immediately started pissing blood. And then you saw the replay, just see him fly in, and it's
and he connected only because he extended his legs so much. It was so perfect.
And then you're just good, do it again. Kick him in the face again.
Fucking hell, man! It was. I mean, even before that as well. You had the he tried to do the white noise off the top rope, and they botched it badly. But you could see, they fell down. That could have gone really bad, but rather than he turned around to try and start climbing up again. But he just took over. He called an audible and just did it straight away. I like that because that could have thrown them off completely. And I think it's really awkward when they try and just go back to the same spot. You don't need to just make it work and carry on. Yeah. They did that perfectly here.
Yeah, it was. It was a good match. 7 out of 10. I gave it. Just slaps. Very. Big meat slaps.
And then there was the Corbin hardcore biker advert we've already mentioned, and the Triple H and Bad Bunny little 2022 and that tour announcement thing, which was great. Like I said, I really enjoyed that. What was next?
Next up, I believe, was the IC title match with Apollo or Apollo, as it is now.
Yeah, Apollo.
I hate his gimmick so much.
I like it. It makes sense.
No, but it just doesn't. To be fair,
it does make perfect sense.
He wasn't going to get anywhere, and it's what I was really worried about with him because I'd seen him when he was Uhaa Nation, and I'd seen him a few times over here in England.
Yeah.
And he literally, it never stopped smiling. It literally just seemed like the happiest man in the world. He just seemed so happy what he was doing. And he went to NXT and he was doing the same thing, just smiling all the time. And I just thought that was really dangerous because you're literally showing zero character. You're just like, I'm so happy to be here.
Never a good thing to just yeah.
So I understand giving him a character to try and change that up.
Well,
why it has to be someone a Nigerian prince?
Well, I mean, they never say the prince part, but he, from what I've read, everything he's saying about his where he comes from and stuff, and all the Nigerian descent and the royal family, the royal blood in his family, it's all legitimately true. So I can totally appreciate, like, when he was. I remember in the one promo when he was explaining this, it made perfect sense to me. I think I should have explained it first, maybe, but because for like a week everyone thought it was racist. But
it's obviously it's the accent more than anything. That is it. You've gone from somebody who speaks American in an American accent. You're doing a reverse Lana, like all of a sudden going from Rusev Crush to hey Rusev, I love you so much.
Crush me.
Hang on, where's your that's a pretty big flip. Or Kofi Kingston going from Trouble in Paradise to hey guys, there you go, Kofi Kingston, you know me. I'm from Ghana.
I've really liked how he explained it, the fact that he came from Nigeria and then as a kid he decided he wanted to try and force himself to change his accent to fit in and that, and then eventually decided no, I'm going to force myself to get back into the accent because I can be who I want to be, kind of thing. I really think it works, and I like it.
And at least he can do the accent, unlike Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, sometimes it falls. He's getting better each week, though. Sometimes he goes out of it, but he's getting there. But and this is the thing. I love history of that as well. I loved when they talked about the Nigerian drum fight. I'd heard things about something like this before, so I got it all. But I put in my notes. Where is this? I like the way Apollo sold his match during the promo on SmackDown, but I'm assuming it's just going to be a no DQ match. Maybe some drums around the ring because Vince just couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
Please tell us about what happened at the beginning. Just tell us about the match, Callum.
Well, there were drums.
Yeah, quite a few of them.
They never got fucking used.
What? He got thrown into one. It fell apart a lot quicker than a drum ever would. And this is the drummer saying it, so yeah. This
was one of my kind of switch off matches because I really like Big E, I really like Apollo, but I was just not engaged in this match because it was just a weapons match, really. It's like it's just like when they do like any other gimmick match on TV when it's like a St. Louis street fight or whatever. Oh, and I hit him with a guitar, but everything else was kendo sticks.
Arcade anarchy.
Yeah.
All these things around. I'm going to go get the chair. I'm going to get the kendo stick.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
But the most confusing bit for me was from the commentators at the very end. So if you have anything else, on that, please do.
Before I know what you mean, so I can guess where you're going with that. Before we get to that, then the one thing I did like to spot in this match was when he had him on the outside, Big E, on the steps, and he was standing on the apron or whatever he was with the other side of the steps. He was going to do the squash thing again. Yeah. And the whole time I was like, well, obviously he's going to move, obviously. But the camera work was great for that bit because they zoomed in on him and he did it so quick. Like Big E must have timed it perfectly. Or the camera work was great for that. It was just for a second, I believed that it might have done it, but that's what you want from it.
Exactly. You've got to suspend that disbelief.
I think that they did that really well. After watching a lot of AEW lately and thinking about the camera work in WWE is just miles apart.
Yeah, definitely.
So go ahead with what you were saying.
So at the end, Big E looks like he's got Apollo beat and a guy in an army uniform. Why not? Comes out of the crowd, and I'm like, oh, it's Dabba Kato from Raw Underground.
Yeah.
Apparently, the commentators have completely forgotten that ever existed. Who is this man?
Not a clue.
Who is this gigantic, that huge man? Where did he come from? Who is he? Like, no, you do not. He's been on Raw as well. Do you not remember?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
yeah. You would literally, you've seen it. You were there. You were commentating on Raw at the time. You might remember. Yeah, so just because it was a jacket on. This is a completely different person, this behemoth of a man.
I mean, to be fair, everyone seems to have, at least you could say when they went into Raw Underground or something, he wasn't there all the time. All the kayfabe people walking in wouldn't have seen him, the commentators. But Amos was there too.
Yeah.
You can't help but walk past him. He was a giant man holding the door open, and they never mentioned that either.
And it literally just looks like they're gone, well, what we're doing with AJ seems to be working. Do you want to do it with him as well? Yeah, okay. We'll get a big guy from Raw Underground. We'll put him with him. There we go. Problem solved.
You know what, though? Not going to lie. As soon as I saw him, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I like it. Made perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Just acknowledge who the fuck he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got a different name now.
That's it. It's not like you can say he didn't have an African-sounding name. Like,
yeah,
it's not like he's called, John Regis or something. Oh my God, it's John Regis. He's defected to Nigeria. His name's Dabo Kato. Like, that's pretty African sounding,
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's more African sounding than Apollo Crews.
But yeah, to be fair. I'm surprised they haven't changed that name more yet.
Just let him go back to being Uha Nation, because he's even mentioned that that's where he's from, that he's part of the Uha Nation. Hence his fucking name on the Indies. So
maybe that'll be the name of the group. That'd be good. I'll be alright with that.
Uha Nation. Mm-hmm.
His name anyway now, though, apparently is General Reezy, or General something like Rees Dabacato now.
Jesus. Fucking Christ. Right.
And then we had the 2021
6 out of 10, by the way.
Oh yeah. Really, 6 out of 10? That's quite high for that.
I just thought there's some nice man meat. I'm all about the man meat.
Yeah. There was some man meat.
Especially Biggie's chest meat, goddamn. Oh.
I'm going to disappoint you now then, because as you know, we're about to talk about woman meat.
Ew.
Sounds weird to say.
There's something about Rhea Ripley. I don't know what it is, but I'm not into pain, but for her I would. Yeah.
I'm not a masochist, but I would let her beat me up and I would enjoy it more than I should.
Something about her. Just.
I'm not that. I don't. It's too tall.
Really?
Make me feel like a tiny person, man.
No, that wouldn't bother me. I'd feel safe.
True, to be fair.
Right. Just protect me. That's all I want. I'm a very frail, tiny man. Well, frail, fat man, but.
I was thinking, like, before this started, obviously, once again, there's been no build and all that, but I was also thinking, one thing that I'll imagine, like just imagining Jim Cornette's reaction to this if they fuck her up, which they didn't, in my opinion.
Not for the most part.
But there was, the match we'll get to in a second, but I don't know about you. There was a giant, in my opinion, the biggest botch of both two nights happened during this. Do you want to have a guess what it was?
Having a band play Rhea Ripley on.
Well,
bands never really work.
That was the thing. It is in regards to that. I love the bands. I was really happy when I remembered, because I forgot that we were having the music for this, and I really liked that song as well. And I was really up for it. When it first started, I don't know if you noticed, so Mike didn't seem to be on.
Yeah.
My note. Oh, let me just read out my notes to you. Turn her mic on, please. That very quickly turned to, oh God, please, for the love of my ears, turn her goddamn mic off. She was just bad.
That's the actual band themselves, New Year's Day. It's actually quite a good band. I've heard them before.
Sure they are.
They're decent. But that's obviously, I don't believe that is their song.
I think that was her song.
Is it?
Yeah, that was their song. She was the original. Yeah, that was all their song and stuff. And people again.
This is a case of the Lemmys then. Like every time Lemmy would come up play Triple H, he'd be always like, it's all about the game. And how you game it? It's all about the game and game and game. I don't fucking remember. Fuck you, I'm Lemmy.
Yeah, trust me, for someone who's seen Lemmy live a couple of times, he's never good live.
Yeah.
Never. He was never good live, sorry.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would have been. I think it's more about the perspective that that's Lemmy. This is amazing.
Exactly, it didn't matter. Yeah. But she is not Lemmy.
No, she is Alice Cooper's daughter.
Oh, is she?
I believe so, yes.
I think she should know she should know better then, because it could only be one or two things. It could only be, people are going to say that because there was sound problems at the beginning and stuff, that threw her off. Yeah, sure, that would throw you off, but that's your job. You know how to, it's her song as well. She knows the tone. She should be able to get there. She never got there. She never got anywhere near there. Tiny little bits. Like, to me, it sounded like normally she would be put through a professional sound system with professional effects put on her voice to make it sound like she can sing. This is WWE. Like you said at the beginning, they can't do that with their musical acts.
Yeah.
This was her, just her. Oh, I'm sorry, but it was terrible.
And that's it. I feel like she might have also been singing along to what her band was playing, but I'm fairly certain the music wasn't her band. The music was pumped in music. So she was like, she always seemed like that half step out when she was singing.
The timing wasn't too bad, and that might have just been because of the sound reverberating through the giant arena. Like,
maybe.
I just think she was bad. She was just bad, or she just wasn't prepared, or she was something, but it wasn't good. That's all it was. But Rhea fucking Ripley, I hadn't seen much of her before this. Like, I knew of her and I'd heard a lot about her, but I'd realised at the beginning of this match, I hadn't actually seen her wrestle very much at all.
Yeah.
She's a fucking badass. She's a fucking badass, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, but
strap the rocket, let her go.
Yeah.
I'd put both the women's singles matches delivered on both nights, which is good. And I would say this is probably the equal, like last year, Rhea against Charlotte was probably the best match on WrestleMania. Yeah. And I don't think this was the best match here, but I think it was probably the equal of that match last year, which says more about the quality of the matches this year, that they were better than it was about this being worse, because this was still a very good match.
It was very fucking good. I mean, I feel like it was quite a short match, and from what I've heard, that was true as well. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think Rhea should have she didn't dominate her, but she kind of did.
Yeah, there was, like, I expected more dominance out of Rhea Ripley. Like, Asuka did get a lot in, but at the same time, I guess you've got to protect Asuka.
Yeah, it's still Asuka, she's a badass.
Yeah. So I was surprised how much Asuka had at kind of the beginning. She did kind of take control for quite a bit. But then, yeah, Rhea kind of took it back over. But it could have been done better, certainly. But protected Rhea's finish, unfortunately, because I don't like her finish.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a pump handle slam. No, it's not even pump handle. It's pump handle drop.
It was, was it the Road Dogg version, basically?
Yeah. But just a pump handle slam at least. You get them
going up and then
onto the and drop them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at least looks a bit more impactful, but fucking
Well, at least if you're going to do it, then do your foot stomp onto him to pin them.
Oh, that'd be fucking sick. Doing the curb stomp like she does that. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, they would not let that pass by anyway, but you do that on the indies, do the big fucking whoa, bang. Oh, god damn. I'd buy a ticket to see that, sure.
I agree, though. She does need a different special, but I was okay with it here because at the same time, at least it's it's not a special you see from a lot of people. So I'm a bit more okay with it because of that. But yeah, it just doesn't feel very impactful. But got her to win, and I was fucking chuffed with that. If Jim Cornette is not happy with that match, then he will never be happy with anything, any women's match or any WWE match. Maybe he should just stop watching wrestling because he loves Rhea Ripley.
He does.
And if he's not happy with that, then
it's not about being happy. It's about watching wrestling. Wrestling shouldn't make you happy.
That's very true.
Anger is what we seek.
I'm either enjoying it because it's really good, or enjoying it probably more because it's terrible. That's my two levels. That's why I enjoy AEW.
Fair.
And then we had Saul Goodman talking to us, but he was pretending to be someone else again. I don't know if you saw that.
I skipped over the advert for the movie, whatever it was. I don't know. Is it meant to be a comedy? Because he is a comedic actor mainly, but it just seemed like the very brief bit I seen, like, oh, he's going to get guns. This is a very odd turn for him, or whatever. Skip.
Yeah, it was silly. From the little bits I heard, I can't remember. I didn't pay that much attention to it because I was just thinking, hey, Saul Goodman was pretending to shoot people. I couldn't get past that. And then we had Titus and Hulk Hogan doing some random shit, and then we finally had Bayley come out, and at least they did give her pyro, so at least she got that.
Yeah, and then she got beat up by the Bella Twins, and again there was more pumped in cheers because people didn't want the Bella Twins.
No,
nobody wanted the Bella Twins.
Hulk Hogan did.
Well, yeah. John Cena briefly wanted one, and I was like, oh. No.
I love that line, though. I didn't expect Bayley to bring that off and say, not now. But apparently the Bella Twins as well are unbelievably strong because Bayley flew down that ramp. Flew.
Yeah.
There's some strong Bellas. Good at baby strength, mama strength, that is.
Yeah, exactly. They just pretended that they were saving their children from under a car and proceeded to hurl it down the motorway.
That was just, I don't know how to feel about any of that, man. I really don't know what it was like. They just tried to shoehorn Bayley in because they realized, oh, people want to see Bayley. Oh, okay, let's just throw her in here or here. Okay, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, well. Next year.
I would have just preferred to see someone like Carmella and Bayley together going and then actually getting into the match against Shayna and Nia. That would have been better.
Just do a fucking ding dong hello segment, quite frankly.
Even that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting a ding dong hello segment or something like that, and then Becky Lynch would interrupt that. That's what I was expecting to happen, especially with that Becky Lynch teaser as well.
Yeah, a lot of
people. Maybe just nothing.
Yeah, a lot of people expected that, but Becky's playing the mind games.
I don't know about you, but when I was watching Rhea Ripley and Asuka, I was thinking, I'm so annoyed. No. It's such a shame that Becky Lynch has already took the man moniker because Rhea is the man. That works for her better, in my opinion, than Becky.
She's also a better worker than Becky.
Yeah, Becky's not a great worker, is she?
No, never really. I don't think you can point to a good Becky Lynch match personally.
And if so, it's probably not because of her.
Yeah, it's very average. Good charisma.
Yeah, great charisma, yeah.
Average worker.
But I do think the character a lot of the time is as important as the as the work rate and that. Oh. And this fucking main event, which we're finally up to now, the Universal title main event, had 3 legitimate good characters, and I can't say enough good things about this match. This was great.
Always dangerous to have a triple threat match because it can go very wrong. But let's face it, if someone's experienced it, it's Daniel Bryan.
That's very true, yeah.
I did enjoy the amount of no's and boos that he got.
It did feel like that because Ed, they were loud to Bryan when they came out, but Edge, it was a whole nother level for him, the reaction. And he was the only one to fucking actually use the whole stage. I don't know if you noticed that. He was the only one to use the stage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't want to fucking blow up because it was a mile either way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I also found it very interesting that Roman Reigns wore black, Edge wore white, and Danny Bryan wore grey. I just thought I wondered if something had gone on there, but I just found that very interesting. That was that.
I do kind of hate it when you have a match or something and there's two tag teams and they're both like in pretty much the same gear, and you just get confused. Like AEW, that happens a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, there was a lot of worry about whether Roman was going to get cheered or booed or something. I don't know why. He got booed to fuck, and he should have done. I don't know why you would expect anything else.
I can see how they'd worry because he is now the heel that he should have been, which is just kind of a techno-nonsense badass. And that is kind of what people wanted him to be. So I could see that it would be worried that, oh man, they might actually like him because we followed through on what they wanted, and he is a badass now.
I don't understand that logic if it wasn't for the fact he was in there with Daniel Bryan and Edge, though. You know,
that's it. I think if he'd have been against somebody else, he potentially could have got more cheers.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think Edge was always going to win the cheers because this is his first WrestleMania back in front of people. So they were always
exactly.
He could have taken a fucking dump on the American flag. Like, yes, fuck America. We love you, Edge. And
rated R pooper star.
Oh, he's got jokes. He's got jokes. Is this guy? You should be a comedian. Yeah. And then obviously Daniel Bryan got the really middling response. And the yes chants don't really work on a crowd full of people with masks. It was like, so you could hear the no's a lot more clearly because they're like, no. No. It's a lot more easy to hear that on. So
I like to think as well that some of the stuff, the more heelish stuff that Daniel Bryan was doing in the match was kind of like from about halfway through or so. I hope that was like, you know, not the plan, but like with Hulk Hogan and us, Hulk Hogan and The Rock, they called you because you could tell, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And like you could also see as soon as Bryan got in the ring, like he knew he wasn't the most loved person there, and you could just see like I just remember looking at his face, he was just like laughing and smiling. I just thought
when Edge was coming out, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like he knows that he's gonna have to change what he's doing. Like he knows that he's basically been worked by the crowd, and he's like, okay, looks like I'm gonna have to change some stuff up.
Daniel Bryan is
kick some faces.
Daniel Bryan, in my opinion, though, is one of just the best wrestlers, not just now, but just ever. I think just everything about him, technical like ability, even like the time since he had his injury, his mic skills have got ridiculously. They were terrible before, and now he's good. Like he reminds me a lot of like Mick Foley, good Mick Foley, like the passionate kind of promos that he does.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't think he wouldn't be on my Mount Rushmore of wrestling, but I think, in terms of technical ability, I don't think there's been anyone as good as him. Maybe since like Eddie Guerrero or Dean Malenko, more than likely.
And Benoit was like, he was a good technical wrestler.
We do not talk about Benoit.
Oh, sorry, he doesn't exist.
Obviously, that's barring Kurt Angle because he was a fucking freak.
Yeah,
but,
that's
in terms of just being able to do like everything well.
Exactly, that's the thing, because Kurt Angle was amazing at the stuff he did, but he didn't have a strike game. He didn't really have a high flying game other than a moonsault. You know, but Daniel Bryan incorporates everything as well, and he's got the gimmick, the easy cheer. He's got now the promo skills. People just like him for some reason as well. He just got that face you just like.
He's got the little pinchy cheeks.
And he's seen the light, and he's not a vegan anymore, so it made me like him even more.
Well, you're easily pleased, aren't you?
Easier than vegans because I actually have all the nutrients my body needs. Yeah.
Oh, contentious tonight.
It's true though.
I really liked. I think it was about halfway through. I don't remember near the end. I can't remember, but the double submission spot where Edge had Roman in the crossface, crippler or otherwise, and he looked like he was about to tap, and Daniel Bryan grabs his hand, and bends the arm back,
and
locks him in the yes, lock.
There was a slight bit missed about that though, because just before that, remember, Edge brought the chair in and Roman grabbed it off him, and for a moment, it looked like the chair just naturally broke, and Edge just looked at the chair leg that was left in his hand, huh? And then he carried on, and I put it in my notes like, oh wow, that chair leg, I've never seen that before, and then they used that in the submission. He had that across his face.
I would be really interested to know if that was just genuinely a mistake or that was meant to happen. But yeah, I agree with him cinching up in his mouth. And Roman doing the Seth Rollins face as well. Like,
yeah, I could totally buy that being another audible because it was Edge who did it, and once again, all three of them just complete professionals. Like you know, Roman obviously the least, and he I think gets it completely himself too. I think he completely gets it.
I don't think you can shit on Roman Reigns' wrestling ability anymore. I think that time is gone.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he, more than anything, he knows what he's doing now, and he is probably at the top of his game.
I'd agree with that. This is by far I wanted him to win. I wanted him to win all the way through. I wanted him to win the beginning.
I don't think there would have been a wrong choice. Kind of like Bobby against Drew. I was happy no matter what happened. But Roman winning, I think, adds maybe fuel to the rumor mill that Drew will come over.
Yeah,
because you've dominated everybody pretty much. So,
I mean, yeah, because the ending was the one bit that I don't know how I felt about it. How did you feel about it? Right, because he had how did we actually get to it again? Because he had like a concerto to Daniel Bryan, and then was it Roman speared Edge and then pinned them both? Was that the full breakdown of it all?
Yeah, because he put Edge on top of Bryan. Yeah, I believe so. Oh, I did also like the bit where the Edge and Roman both went to spear.
Yeah,
and just, like, clang together, like fucking. But at the same time, it is that thing of like, you fucked your neck. What are you doing?
yeah. Fucking the story they told in this match was great. I saw this note here that I read down from that double submission was on about. It went straight to Edge beatdown, and then Bryan acting all heely, and then Edge almost beating Reigns, and Bryan grabbing the ref, which made him seem even more heely. And then I think that went into the next week with the concerto and that. I just loved the story they were telling. It would just, especially from that double submission bit with the chair before, it just felt like it was just a proper flowing story from then on. I don't think stories get told enough in matches anymore. Well, they don't get told enough in matches anymore. This was actually a story.
Especially in AEW, looking at you chaps.
Oh, man.
I agree. It was... And, which is why I wonder if they did kind of knew what they did and kind of talking about like the color people's gear. Obviously, Roman's wearing black. He's a heel.
Yeah.
Edge is wearing white.
Oh.
He's the guy. Danny Bryan's wearing grey. He's the guy in the middle. So I just wonder if that was if they almost knew what was going to happen, so they're playing to it almost. Oh, whether it's just
maybe. Yeah. Okay. Because that would be, in that sense, you'd be saying like the wrestlers would know. Yeah, because I was going to say that makes no sense because why they've been booking them for weeks with Edge being the heel basically now, but that's not them doing it. Yeah, I could see that then in that case. Yeah,
yeah. I think like they were probably aware that there'd not been enough build up of Edge being a bad guy to make him a bad guy. Really, I mean, and let's remember, Hulk Hogan hit The Rock with a semi truck, and he still got cheated massively.
Yeah.
So, like, this is the first WrestleMania back after a year.
I was going to say, because of the situation too.
Edge was pretty much always going to get cheered.
Yeah.
So.
But I like crazy old, I say old man Edge, but he was just a crazy Edge from before, but just now it's like the grizzled version. I like it. I like the bad. He's just a crazy badass. You don't have to be a bad guy. You can get cheered. You can be both.
He still looks fucking amazing as well.
Oh yeah,
body game on point. So
yeah. So how did you feel though about that pin at the end?
I was okay with it because it kind of showed like, look, this is Roman kind of stamping his head of the table, foot
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
as it were. It's very heel heavy in terms of champions though now,
yeah.
because you got Bobby Lashley as the world champ, who's a heel. You've got Sheamus as the US champ, who's a heel.
Rhea's arguably a heel on Raw as well now.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one, is that one?
Maybe a tweener, but at the
yeah.
moment, as far as from what we should have took from WrestleMania, she's a heel.
Yeah.
In their eyes.
You've got Styles and Amos, who are the tag team champs, who are heels.
God, yeah.
You've got Baszler and Jax, who are the tag team champs for women, who are heels.
Ziggler and Rude.
Ziggler and Rude.
The Dirty Dogs.
Yeah. You've got Apollo Crews, who's the IC champ, who's a heel.
Shit, yeah.
And you've got Roman Reigns, who's the Universal champ, who's a heel.
Did we go through all the titles then?
Yeah.
They're all heel champions. Wow. Yeah. That's surprising, especially after WrestleMania, because it's normally all about sending the people home happy.
Which is why I like you said, Rhea Ripley is the one that's like, what is she? Like, 'cause she's not even really had enough time. She's only been around, a month on the main roster. So
I think it's weeks, isn't it more? I felt like it was literally like 2 or 3 weeks at the most.
Yeah, she's just not had time to establish what she is.
Yeah,
oh, wait, no, sorry, we missed Bianca Belair.
That's okay.
And to me, she's a heel. So
she is more a natural heel too, yeah.
But
they're not going down that route.
Yeah, I guess she's classed as a face.
Yeah, it's all the sympathy side of it.
There is, at the very most, there are two face champions in the company, and they're both women's champions. So it just seems weird.
It is just weird, yeah. When you really break it down and look at it like that, I didn't even thought about that at all.
The actual match itself, I gave it an 8 out of 10, so that was very good. And I thought it was I feel like the match that began WrestleMania and the match that closed WrestleMania, that's how you kind of do it. You had your two best matches, either one, and they could have obviously been interchangeable. And you'd have probably been happy either way. But yeah, of the actual event overall, I gave 7 out of 10, just based on some of the shit stuff. But the main takeaway is just like, it is really good having fans back. Even though I definitely think that they're going to be doctoring a lot of sound as we get back into it, because they've already started doing it. But
they're not going to continue having fans in the wild. It's not going to be a constant thing still.
Yeah, no, not for, it's America. We'll see. But,
okay, it shouldn't. Okay, yeah. I mean, in all fairness, I was trying to ignore it, but I was like, there's too many people there. There's too many people. Y'all are way worse conditioned than our country is, and we wouldn't do that.
This doesn't seem very safe at all, you know.
But I was like, it's WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm going to ignore it for a night. I'm going to switch that off completely for 2 nights. Sorry.
Let's just pretend it's normal and just watch the graps.
Man, there was plenty of stuff in Mania that should have made me really sour on certain things. I enjoyed it more because of them. The stuff that did go well was great. The stuff that went bad, they covered it up. I think I loved this Mania so much more than I thought I would. I was happy through it all. One of my favorite Manias. I don't know if that's just because of this timing. I don't even know what. I don't know why. It's just out of pure how much I enjoy this. One of my favorite ones.
That's very interesting.
I don't know why.
I don't know if I'd put it in that category, but it has. There's been, over the years, there's been a lot of WrestleManias where I thought this has been a shit build. I'm just really not that bothered about this. And some of them have followed through on that and have been like, this is shit. Why did I bother watching this? But this was one of the ones where I'm quite happy I stuck with this. This has been worth watching.
I mean, I say it as well, and there was some stuff actually that I was glad I was able to skip through on the first night, and then stuff that I wish I could skip through on the second night. And it was both fun, to be honest. It was both the women's tags because they were just not good wrestlers in any of them thrown together. That was the downside. Take out all of that, it would have been perfect for me anyway. And the stuff that people were down on, like the Fiend, people seem to be really unhappy about that. I fucking love this, and
yeah, fair.
At least now we've got a big break from wrestling for a while.
Oh wait. Oh no, we don't. God,
I suppose that's a good little way we can end it off now. What do you have any predictions for tonight's Raw after WrestleMania? Anything you think is going to happen? You know,
I think Keith Lee comes back, and he'll probably start off by setting sights on the US title. I
mean, that would be great, Sheamus and Keith Lee, but
I just don't think they're ready to push him towards the world title yet.
Yeah,
I think Drew and Bobby carries on for a little bit longer in terms of that. I feel like there's gonna be a call up, but I just don't know who it would be.
Yeah,
like there's just nobody who I can think who would come up, and yeah. So literally, all I can think is Keith Lee coming back. That's all I can think of right now.
I mean, I could see that, but I just don't feel confident that it would go anywhere I'd want it to.
Oh yeah. They're gonna ruin him almost certainly.
Yeah, more anyway. Just I would personally prefer that. I want him to come back. I want him to go into a world title thing and actually have a chance of winning it. But the time for that isn't now. So personally, I'd prefer to have him off TV for a while, just so that when he does come back, he can really do what he should be doing and be one of the fucking best in there, because he is. But I do think Becky Lynch will appear. Just, I don't think she'll do anything. I think she'll just appear and talk for a bit. Just for the fact, I don't understand why she put out any teasers if there's nothing at all. Like, it's very easy to say, like, the stuff that she did say, because there was, like, the thing about all the words that up to night one. Very easy to say, you know, she was just doing it to fuck with people, making them think night one. But then it's like, why would you do that if there was literally never an idea for you to do anything? Just doesn't make much sense to me.
Wrestlers, man. They love living on the square. They love it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Raw though, I didn't think about it beforehand. I just thought about it now. So considering it's not that far away, oh my God. No, I can't really. You're right. I can't really think of anything that would happen. I mean, any call-ups. The only one I would like to see is Adam Cole, but then again, he's already got rid of the. I would want him back with his old music. I'd want him with the Undisputed Era, and that's already gone. I love Kyle O'Reilly.
I would not let Adam Cole near the main roster. They wouldn't. Yeah, they would just. Exactly. They would have use him. If he'd called up the Undisputed Era, yes, that would have been good. But Adam Cole on his own. I think he'd go to SmackDown if he was going to go anywhere.
What was it? The Raw after WrestleMania. I don't think it was last year, because I remember it being in a proper arena, and obviously that wasn't the case last year. So it must have been the year before that, when they thought the big, like thing for the Raw after WrestleMania was it Seth and the other champion, whoever it was, against Cesaro and Sheamus.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why.
Seth and Roman?
No, it wasn't Seth and Roman. It was. Oh, who was it? It was Kofi. Kofi.
Kofi-mania. Yeah.
Seth and Kofi versus them. So okay, and they made it out like it was supposed to be a surprise. And you imagine certain things. I don't think we're going to get anything particularly good at it. I think that's what I'm realizing as I'm talking. I don't think we're going to get anything good on Raw after Mania.
Especially because it is another like it's back to the Thunderdome, isn't it? So
I assume, yeah.
it's not gonna I doubt they're gonna have any of the big surprises because what's the point?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. I mean, as long as they go balls to the wall and, starting a load of new storylines and things and just making some crazy shit happen. I don't care about returns. I don't care about new people popping up. I don't think that's what people should be focusing on anyway most of the time. Because if that's what, the company, sorry, if that's what they're using, then that just means that they're not booking stuff right. They're just relying on this. And if you're not building stars, you can't rely on those stars appearing to help you. It doesn't make, you can't do one without the other. And they're not doing the one.
I agree.
But yeah. Okay, so we've been going for a long fucking while now, but we got there in the end, man. We got through it.
This is nearly a full night of WrestleMania we have done.
We got there. We got there though. We knew it was going to take a while. We did it.
Victory sip.
I need more than a victory sip. I need a totally legal cigarette after dealing with this. Because we're in England and that's what we have to say. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything then. Anything else you want to cover? Mention anything at all?
Just that I also watched the Chris Jericho Broken Skull session because that was on after. And that went nearly 3 hours as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was if you've read Jericho's kind of first couple of books, a lot of the things are the same as in that. But it was quite interesting, and there wasn't a massive amount of mentions of AEW, but it was brought up.
Yeah, I did see some slight mention about that on one of the review things I saw. They said that they mentioned the names and they didn't shy away from saying it, but they just didn't focus on it at all.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that was just one of those where you can just have it on and listen to it, and you're like, oh, it's just interesting, really. But yes, other than that, I have nothing further to add, Your Honour.
Plead the fifth. But other than that, then yeah, I suppose for everything at KD Comedy Inc., we will have a brand new episode of Children with Comedy Podcast, episode 24, coming very soon. As soon as I finish editing it, I'm a bit behind because wrestling. During that episode, we are covering. I am covering the confession killer known as Henry Lee Lucas, and Nathan Parrish, post-apocalyptic metal treehouse man, is covering 3 haunting painting stories, which are bloody creepy. I didn't expect to find them so creepy, but they're damn creepy. I showed you one at the beginning. Creepy as hell.
Terrifying beyond mere words.
And he didn't tell me until very near the end of it that the one I was staring at and really looking at was apparently, if you look at it too long, you'll die. Bye, everyone.
Oh, yeah. It's been nice knowing you. Oh, God, imagine if this is the last thing you do. Oh, dear. Oh.
At least I got to watch WrestleMania first.
Yeah.
But if I do make it to Wednesday, then there will be a brand new episode of Katie's Comedian Quiz Off, episode 31, coming live 7 p.m. Wednesday. Wherever you're watching this stream, you can watch it. Other than that, there will be Callum Ellis, Jarivs-Jones defending his crown as the reigning defending king of the Quiz Off against Tommy Tomsky, post-apocalyptic metal treehouse Nathan Parrish. And I forgot to mention this beforehand, and I've already said her name, but she actually let me know she can't do it because she actually has to be social for work. And I feel sorry for her that she has to actually see people again in work. I don't want to fuck people right now. But Tegan Marlowe will be coming back on in a few weeks. I'm getting a replacement. I'll sort it out.
Nathan, Tommy, mystery guest, I'm coming for you.
And I'm going to stack the deck against you, my friend, because you and Alex let me down when Awkward Question Time wiped the floor with you last week. So expect a hard going.
Got to take the rough with the smooth, and if I'm going to come for him, I prefer it rough.
Okay. Never buy a condom from Callum. So, other than that, as we said last time, what do we hope that this has been, Callum?
A pleasure.
We hope that you think that this
Oh.
has been such good shit.
Such good shit.
Oh, there's some good fucking shit.
God.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.